Are we live in front of a live studio audience with people around here to watch us tonight and our weekly shenanigans? Well, I'd like to know because otherwise, if we don't know, then I won't be able to, start this show tonight for all of you beautiful people out there. Please let me know if you guys can hear me loudly and clearly so that way I can make sure we can begin tonight's session, ladies and gents, of the PokePod World Podcast. So, once again, my name, as always, ladies and gents, is KG Prestige, and we are once again back for another weekly round of shenanigans to talk about for tonight. Folks, it's going to be a wild session, I like to believe. We have the episode to talk about, obviously. We have Diamond and Pearl to also probably talk about, too. A bunch of other things as well. It's going to be a wild, wild ride. And I hope you guys are willing to join us for the fun. So I'm going to go and hop into the call. We're going to go and talk with the boys and everybody that's in there right now currently. Not really sure who's in there, so let me go and double check on that. See who's in there. Normally it's TSS, but it could be everybody for all I know. Tyrone could be there in time. So let's double check on that right now as I get myself ready to talk about some shenanigans. Also, did you guys notice? I'd recommend, by the way, to just be as far away from Twitter as possible because Spider-Man leaks are apparently happening right now. So if you guys are super excited for Spider-Man shenanigans, might I suggest you try to avoid social media. So just thought I'd give that heads up right there. Okay, let me go and hop into the call real quick. Hello, hello. Do you guys hear me loud and well?
Wait a minute, hold on.
I
Why?
just said, "Where's the Kevster?"
Yeah, where is I?
There we go.
Oh,
Needed to do that.
oh, okay. Something happened when your site TSS. I assume.
There, I just had to. No, I just had to do a sub because I forgot to resub.
Ah, okay. Much appreciated. Despite it not showing for some odd reason, I don't know why that's not the case. Maybe it'll take a while.
Maybe.
Unless Twitch Prime doesn't do it like that. I don't
Probably
know.
Twitch Prime doesn't probably do it
Which
like
is
that.
such a disappointing thing because I believe Twitch Prime users should also get that same level of respect too. So.
Yeah.
So everybody say hello to the ones that we heard in the call just now, to TSS and to Polly. Also, we got another
Me.
buddy joining us too. Not sure if he is here currently or not, but if you are there, say hello.
Again. Hello.
Okay, so he is here with us.
Yeah.
So yes, our buddy Curl Blitz is also going to be joining us once again for another round. Why? Well, I mean, we had the discussion in part one of the Ash VB battle. It only feels appropriate to wrap up that discussion with the second half of this battle, which we'll obviously talk
Yes.
about in hour two. Hour one is normally just the BS hour, as we like to call it, where we just talk about shenanigans that happened within the past week and other topics as well, just in case if we'd like to talk about things during this time. Because honestly, this is the only time we ever get a chance to talk about whatever the hell social media and internet shenanigans happen to, throw
Yeah.
in our faces. Yes, I know about them Spider-Man leaks. I'm not going to talk about them here. It is very big Spider-Man leaks, and it could potentially be game-changing. So once again, to those who know about it, don't spoil it, don't mention it, keep it at a minimal because it's very big. Now, with that being said, the Diamond and Pearl stuff we could totally talk about, but not the Spider-Man though. The Spider-Man is vital shit. Diamond and Pearl is a whole different package altogether. It's a game from 10 years ago. I mean, there's not really much to spoil in that regard, so.
BSDP. What did I told you all of those months ago?
Okay, so before we do legitimately ever get into BDSP talks, I do want to, of course, reiterate it is going to be spoilerish. So if you guys are still kind of in that mindset of like not getting involved of it, just know we might talk about it. It's not going to be right now. But we might talk about it a little later tonight. Given that now, if you go to Twitter, they're just pretty much spamming your timeline with all this BDSP knowledge that you don't even have any form of escape from it.
That's why I
whatsoever.
unfollow a lot of people, but
Yeah, I just recommend keeping.
Yeah, you can
mute.
you,
Mute
you
it.
can
Yeah.
you can mute the words, but if your friends like the posts, well, that's a different story.
Yeah, it don't stop. It just it just grows.
Well, you could turn it off. You could turn it off, but
Yeah.
Yeah, so also I just discovered I know this is completely random. I just discovered the power of boosting recently on Discord because I actually got my hands on the Nitro Plus now because I actually decided to get that
Yeah,
to
I've
burst.
had it for a long time.
Yeah, I
I've had it
never
for a while.
knew how to use that. I was like, oh look, there's a cool new feature where if you give two boosts to like a server, they get a lot of upgrades and all that stuff.
Yeah, like bandwidth. Yeah.
Yeah, so like bandwidth, audio, actual upgrades, which is really cool. I don't know how much of a big change that does here in this call right
Mhm.
now currently. I don't think it'll even change that much as a whole, but
Well, I think the bit rate will be slightly higher.
yeah. If it makes it sound much
256.
more clear and all that shit, then plus on that part, I'll do it next month. But I decided to have fun with JPR's Discord server because I decided to
Okay,
boost that one. If you go to a TSS, you'll notice the banner. You might like that banner, by the way. Just
let's
saying,
see.
because I actually decided to put something there that I think is very appropriate. Only,
Okay.
only representation for what I believe is the best series of all time.
You know what's actually funny? You know what's really funny about that? That is actually that actually might be the pasted together thing that we did for PM.NET version 1,
Really
which is the
now?
Glory Day. Yeah, we used the same exact panning shot from Glory Day there, as PM.NET as the PM.NET version 1 banner back in
Damn.
2005 when we opened.
I actually had to edit this photo only because of the
Yes.
fact that Ash was too far away from the other characters, so I had to like
Yes.
copy and paste him closer just to fit in with the
Yes.
other boys.
Yeah. That's but we did the same thing on
Oh, you
the
guys had
first
the same
PM.NET
mindset
banner.
too.
Yeah,
I
because you
thought.
got to remember, we opened PM.NET to the public May 14th, 2005. Holy shit.
Mm,
16 years ago, yeah, over 16 years ago. And Glory Day was, well, the ending at
at
that
that
time.
time, yeah.
Yeah, V1. So yeah, that's what we did.
That's crazy though. Time
Yeah,
truly
I know.
passes by.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting fucking gray hair. I'm getting fucking old.
Damn. Listen, buddy. Yeah, despite the age and all that, we're all fine people here throughout. That's the one thing that matters. We're always here
Exactly.
to provide
I'm
everybody.
still here.
We're
I'm
still
still here.
kicking ass,
I
bro.
haven't left anywhere.
We'll always be here every single week, ladies and gents, to provide you guys with the utmost best shenanigans, whatever that might be. Whether it be
Hmm.
discussions here or streams throughout the week, ladies and gents. We hope you guys enjoyed throughout. So, yeah, let's get start talking about some of the funny shenanigans, I guess, that have happened.
PS5.
Oh, you want to talk about that first?
Yes.
All right, so TSS, I will gladly leave it to you because I believe you have more information on that batch of news than me personally. So,
Okay. So yesterday, well-known hacker group Fail Overflow posted a dump of looks like the secure loader from the PS5, and they showed a specific line of plain text there. So this means, and then they clarified it a few hours later, saying we got all symmetric PS5 root keys that can all be obtained from software, including per console root key if you look hard enough. So this basically means that they got access by just software. And according to, I believe, Marcan, because usually Marcan posts this stuff, this can't be easily corrected by Sony.
wait, can
So
or cannot? I didn't hear.
cannot,
Really now?
as far as I know, because it's part of the secure loader. It's hard to actually patch that, as far as I know. Now the thing is, though,
Damn.
we don't know the exact details yet, but I would believe that Marcan, you'll probably will see Marcan or even the other failover people, except for unfortunately Bushing, because he passed away like how many years ago? 8 years ago. Holy crap! It's been that long.
Damn.
Because those two guys were the original twin tweezers, and they became Fail Overflow, which, of course, if people know the Chaos Communication Congress, or CCC, there is a very cool presentation that they did in 2010 where they just completely destroyed the PS3 by means of showing how bad the security was. And then Marcan came on stage a few years later and did the same thing with the PS4. And that's where we found out that freaking the PS4 has an ARM chip, and it was connected via a freaking PCIe Express 1 bus to the rest of the fucking x86 hardware. And I can't wait to see if Chaos Communication Congress, which usually gets held in late December, if it happens again this year, I believe it will be in Germany. If we're going to get a PS5 talk, and I can't wait for that. Now, just a clarification, Fail Overflow is a hacker group, but they do not believe in piracy. They just care about running Linux to harness the power of these consoles for their own use. They just want to run Linux on it. The problem is, of course, if you get the keys, that means people can do things like, hey, let's run inside code, and that means, hey, game dumpers, yay, piracy. But that's unfortunately the side effect of, reverse engineering and, diving into the security. So, but I'm looking forward to the write-up that Fail Overflow is going to do in the next month or so. And I'm wondering if they're going to have a presentation. And I can't wait for that. So, yeah, PS5 is broken. Can't wait. Next.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Chaos
muted myself
Emerald.
there. I was trying to say I was very surprised by this, only because of the fact that this console is still relatively new and difficult to obtain. So to see them somehow able
They
to
did not.
modify.
Now, Ty, they did not release the keys. No, all they did was they showed a screenshot of the secure loader dump. That's it. There's
They
no
didn't
keys
show
in
you
it.
how to though.
They didn't show you how to, and they didn't show you the keys. They just showed like the full secure boot sector,
Mm-hmm.
the secure boot. That's it. They did not release any keys, and they aren't going to release them publicly.
Because why would they? That'll just stir
No,
up more.
because it's wrong. Well, it's not only that, because you look what happened with fucking GeoHot, the guy who originally hacked the iPhone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he hacked the PS3, and then he got fucking sued by Sony 11 years ago.
Damn.
So just to let you know, they're not going to. That's not a public thing. It was the same thing with the PS4 too, where it said, well, it's like step 1, find the BSD kernel exploit. Well, no, it's no, find a userland JavaScript exploit. 2, you have to find your own BSD kernel exploit for access privilege. And that was and he did it while it was on like version 1.76, Japanese PS4, because he lives in Japan right now. So, but anyway, so yeah, but believe me, Fail Overflow has done a lot for the homebrew community, but not for the piracy people.
No, he's
they're
just
just
doing
for
it this way just to show the fact that this
Yeah.
is possible, which is still
Correct.
incredible. It just baffles me to think that this is such an option that people can take, and also most importantly, if this person can do it, who's to say others cannot also go and discover this said mechanic as well, and then that said person will be the one to
Well,
put it
yeah.
out to the webs, because if one person can find it, that means anybody out there can do so as well. So it's just
Yeah,
a matter
Linux
of
on
patience and
PS5. See, Donnie's a cultured man. He can't wait.
Who wants to put the penguin on the PS5?
GDDR. Well, I mean, come on. You want GDDR6? I mean, let's go.
Oh,
Come
shit.
on.
Wait, Savion, I love that song. You are a pirate. I once made up a dance routine to it. Anyway, continue.
The Icelandic version's better. But anyway.
he was truly a good villain throughout. So yeah, PS5 overall, great to know about it.
What the fuck is a PS5?
Did you not know the PS5 is the latest console release of the PlayStation family, taking
I
place
don't
over
got
the
it.
successor? Well, did you try?
Yes, one did.
Bullshit! Then you would have had it.
You would have had it.
You know as well as I do, KG, that there's only 20 human beings on the planet that have the PS fucking 5.
Yeah, and one's mine here in the background as a goddamn decor, because I ain't never gonna use that shit.
You're a piece of shit and I hate you.
hey, KG, leave it on low firmware.
Yeah, don't worry, that shit ain't plugged in, boy. That shit's staying unplugged for the rest of its life. I just bought it just to spite people. So, The power
You're
of
an
money, ladies and
asshole.
gentlemen.
Wait, KG. So you bought a paperweight in the end of the day.
An
It's a very
expensive
heavy
paperweight.
paper. Yeah.
A $600 paperweight, you piece of shit.
You bought it from the fee.
You rather just get an HP net server from a net server tower from the early 2000s. It makes a better doorstop. Plus it weighs like 55 pounds.
Right?
Yeah.
But so yeah, over there just chilling. So I'll just keep it there in the meantime. KG, can I get your PS5 for $5? Yeah, you got it, homie. Hold on, I'll take care of that shit real quick for you.
For Trace, $5.
Ah man, so KG versus Tyrone, a PS5 boxing match. Oh wait, Tyrone don't have
I'll give you something better than $5. $20.
$20
$20.
Sir, I'll give you $1 million for that.
for that hat.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but the problem is the $5 footlong is not $5 and not a footlong.
Yeah, and especially they don't do the promotion over here, man. And I do eat fresh, by the way, because Subway is actually pretty close by to where I live. So I do eat that
Oh,
fresh.
everybody adds a couple of inches.
Well, I haven't had Subway in like 5 years.
And also, it's $5 11 inches, not foot long, bro. It's already been confirmed that shit's 11 inches. So you ain't getting that foot long freshness, man. I'm just saying. You were lied to.
The tuna ain't fresh yet. The tuna ain't fresh. You're goddamn right. I don't like tuna.
Did you guys remember that report that came out a few months back where they tried to discover about the tuna? And they're like, they don't know what the fuck it is.
Well, yeah, it's not. Yeah, it has no tuna in it, and also several years ago they actually found out that they were using fucking the same ingredient that they use in fucking gym mats in the fucking bread.
So funny story, and it's related and unrelated, but I'm going for it. Obviously, never ever have thoughts of like suicide ever. Okay, it's not cool. Like there are people there for you. You like life is not better without you. Live your life. But in my head, I've thought of a scenario that if I were to blow my brains out, the first thing I would say is first thing I would do is go to a Subway, eat a foot long, say so fresh really loud to where everybody can hear me, then blow my brains out.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, yo, this edible ain't shit. Yo, this edible ain't fret.
Get it off yourself, Yakuza style. Nice.
I don't know. I thought of that like
Confetti.
years ago. I thought of that years ago because everybody was talking about how the eat fresh and how fresh something is, and I'm like, how much is freshness measured? So then part of me was like, is there a limit to freshness? Is someone just gonna be like, so fucking fresh?
a fresh.
Like, damn, it was too fresh.
Subway was better back in the late 90s.
There's a fresh meter out there, bro.
Have you ever felt not so fresh?
Oh
God, no.
Subway is near you.
Oh God, no.
I don't remember. I know there's a Wendy's and there's a McDonald's.
Wait, you're referring to where I live?
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that place we went to eat
where this man
the
lives
Chinese
on fucking
breakfast?
The One Piece restaurant?
Yeah, that One Piece. Well, no. There, I think we went to go and hang out like during the middle of the day by Bay Parkway, nearby the McDonald's. And there was like that one bakery you and I went to in the early morning before we went out.
Yeah.
So literally right in the corner of that, there's a new Subway that just happened to open up there.
And they're expanding.
Next
They're
time,
expanding that freshness, boy. Can you
not
help me with my homework? I teach you, buddy. This ain't the homework hotline.
Well, actually, in my neighborhood, they actually tried to do a Subway that was inside of a convenience store, but that didn't work out. It only lasted for about a year.
Ollie, I dare you to go to a Subway and go, have you ever felt not so fresh?
Have you ever had a dream that you do what? You what?
God dang it, Tyrone.
Oh God, no.
Oh my God.
To fresh or not to fresh, really?
That is the freshness.
Oh God, no.
It's fresh. So fresh.
Just to remind folks, we're not sponsored by Subway. Just to let y'all know.
Oh my god! For
But we
y'all who
we are sponsored by
Yeah, of course. Thank you for that little nice thing you
Yeah,
just did right there, buddy. Because that's a
transition.
beautiful ass
Artesian
transition,
builds.
boy. Yeah, Artesian builds. In case you want to know, down in the description below, you can go and check out that nice little image by also showing off that host that Lightning gave us as well, and visit Artesian Builds, where you can go and get off $200 on your own custom PC by using the code KGPrestige at cart or on checkout, where you get to see them custom make these PCs for you on their Twitch channel as well. Go and check them out over our Artesian Builds. Make sure to check out the cool specs, and all that information you need to know will be right down below. So make sure to check
We
that
know
out.
how to segue.
Indeed. Now, segueing back from freshness to utter freshness, let's go and talk a little bit more about some shenanigans that have happened within this past week. So, I don't know how you guys feel personally. Almost like a Linus segment.
No, Linus. Yeah, exactly, Donnie. This is we learned from the best.
Exactly. We get all the cool tips from all the cool views out here.
We don't, but we don't have drop tips. We just have regular tips.
KG, you should be an ad yourself. Advertise you. Well, subscribe to my channel, ladies and gents, and you will get yourself
I did.
Yeah, like TSS just
Subscribe
did a
to
few
KG's
minutes ago.
channel.
You get
If
to
you
show
subscribe
off
to-
some really cool perks on this respective channel, such as the ability to go and use these cute little emojis that Emmy is showing in the chat right now, currently, like that Wow's Darua, cute, that hype emoji, amongst many other cool perks as well. Just out there helping support the channel and helping me get more things that I can use to go and benefit this podcast and other things we do throughout our respective channels. So if you guys want to continue doing the support, that would be greatly appreciated. Even just being here tonight, ladies and gents, just showing your love and support like that is still also incredible as well. So we love you.
Viewers and the viewers like you.
Thank you. We're not sponsored by any foundation, by the way. Just saying. Also, speaking about tacos, by the way, just to get that out of the way, because it's been a while since we've hit that goal of the taco stream. So I did talk with Mother, and she came to the conclusion that this Saturday will be the stream. This Saturday,
y'all.
Yeah, we no Taco Tuesday. Sadly, it's gonna be Taco Saturday, but we're gonna aim for this Saturday to see how it's going to work and play out. Where you're gonna see her make the tacos and also see me chow down on them, and hopefully I don't die from any form of taco abuse. So whatsoever.
I don't know why part of me thought you were gonna be like, and with regards to the tacos, I decided I don't want to do it. Like, just let down millions of people.
Yeah, I'm just watching right there.
That's a Saturday.
Okay, so try in terms of like a time though. I personally think the stream might go around 3 or 4 p.m. because we're not going to hit for the late hours. Obviously, that's during the time when.
I think I can make that actually.
Yeah, I'm not trying to go too early or too late in the night. That's the issue.
Yeah. Also, then you could check me out for my Yakuza stream, which is at 4.
Yakuza.
Well, that's perfect then. So we'll be able to watch me eat tacos while watching TSS out here playing some Yakuza too.
No, it actually works out because it's a Taco Saturday stream. It's a TSS that segues into TSS.
Also, Tyrone, this is the perfect timing too, because did you know?
Wow. Kuro with the big brain. That's nice.
That's some big brain shenanigans happening. But I was gonna say, Tyrone, did you apply for that Smash thing happening next week by any chance?
What?
On the AnyPoke tuber thingy. Remember what happened at Smash? Which is also, I believe, this upcoming Saturday.
That is true. Yes, that's true.
Which I think is going to be happening around 7 o'clock. I have little to no idea how that's going to be handled. I'm going to continue talking with them, though. I do think we're going to stream it on the channel as well. Because I did mention I was going to do that too.
Yeah, I should be able to.
Yeah, so I'll be streaming it on my channel. Part 2 of our AnyPoke Smash tournament that we had a couple of months ago. We're now having a part 2 of that. So if you guys are looking forward to it, make sure to tune in once again back to this channel, and also I believe to Tyrone's channel as well, because he's going to also take care of another half of that.
And that's when my stream's going to end.
Yeah, so perfect time to look. Everything just playing out beautifully, don't you think? We're going from Taco to TSS to Smash to Terrell to Night. So
and hold on, I think I got something too.
Oh no, breaking news.
Yeah, on Saturday. So my reaction to the latest episode of Journeys, which we'll talk about later, was so well received because of the discussion we had afterwards. I think I may do another roundtable discussion. I liked that, and I'll do that at 1 leading into 3.
Well, there you go, chat. So we're gonna have a fun-filled Saturday. It's gonna be just a pure 24, not really 24, but it's just gonna be a full-on packed Saturday, ladies and gents. So make sure to go and check everybody's channels out. Mine, Tyrone's, TSS, Terrell's, aka DNC Game Freak, amongst many other shenanigans that we'll be pulling off throughout the week as well. So tomorrow, like, we have more Mario Party. Wednesday, we have more Swoosh and Ocarina of Time. As well as reaction nights every Friday nights as well. So
what are we going to be while we're on that subject? What are we going to be doing tomorrow? Who's going to be playing?
Ah, shit.
Well, Tyrone, I gave you a lot of weeks, buddy, for that.
Yeah, about that.
Oh no!
I mean, I still got more shenanigans to do in B2W2, so
Yeah,
I
I was
could
gonna
still
say it's a lot of shit that just happened at once, and like obviously we're coming into the holiday shit, and it's ruining my life. Yeah, I want to do. I may KG, if you don't mind, I may do just Duel Links for Tuesday, and then
So no
transition
Mario
over to
Party?
Black too.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you want to do Mario Party, and then
I mean, we
doing
still
Mario
have
Party
4 more
again.
boards left. I don't know. It's up
Okay,
to you.
yeah, we'll do Mario Party only because we bring other people into Mario Party.
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah.
I was expecting that because I was thinking we were gonna do that since literally what I think our Mario Party stream was very well received by everybody. People loved it. I think my favorite bit still will always be the goddamn question blocks of shame for you, Tyrone. If you want to understand what I'm talking about, go watch the VOD. We actually have it uploaded on the YouTube channel.
That bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So, yeah, in fact, that Mario Party was so well received, it's actually up there in views the exact same amount as, like, the PokePod session. So people really did enjoy it.
And then when I changed my schedule and took Wednesday out, I was doing that for YouTube stuff, which I'm still doing. I'm doing a little YouTube project right now that I'll be working a lot on Wednesday. So that's pretty much how that time's being taken up. But yeah, we'll get back to why. Don't worry. But I know the big hot shit right now is Diamond and Pearl. So we might just segue out of that and hop back into why. Think of it as like a seasonal break, like in an anime.
Yeah.
I say we read fan fiction.
And according to Joker and the others, that video was well received. So that was a very busy ass week for me. I want to point that out. I not only uploaded the video, I did a reaction stream of the latest Journeys episode, then joined the Master 8 podcast, which you should totally watch. And then I did a 2 Persona 5 Royal streams that weekend. I was fucking tired.
It was a busy week last week, you could say.
Busy week, yeah.
Oh, yeah, speaking of that, we should talk about it since it is coming out this Friday. Shin Megami Tensei 5 is finally dropping this Friday.
The older brother.
And I did mention that when the game does drop, I was going to be doing a playthrough of it. Because I guess for some reason we're all doing Shin Megami Tensei after the Persona shenanigans. So I thought I'd kick it off with Shin Megami Tensei 5, the newest title for the series. And I'm very, very excited for it. It's coming out really soon. I did hear there were some Amazon issues happening, but I think that was more so a technical issue, not an actual shipping issue. So people are still going to get their game out regardless. So how's that going to be played out? So on Friday, what I think I might do is that on Friday I will be doing the reaction to PM 2019. And immediately following that up, because it's on that same day, we will be doing a playthrough of Shin Megami Tensei 5. And I think that's how it's going to be structured every Fridays moving forward, at least. Because, like, normally the reaction I tend to just only be, like, about an hour stream or so. You know, we never tend to go any further than that. So I thought to give more time for it, we'll play some Shin Megami Tensei 5 alongside with the reaction night. So you guys will get a 2-in-1 for that stream. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that as well.
Yeah.
So it's going to be filled to the brim, and I'm very excited to see how Shin Megami Tensei 5 is going to kick my ass, because I did hear from TSS, from Terrell, and others who played the game. It's not an easy game.
Well, what do you mean is any kind of Persona Shin Megami Tensei game, especially Shin Megami Tensei 5 would probably kick your ass.
Yeah. Especially
So-
since I have little to no
No
knowledge.
It
experience.
doesn't mean the game's difficult. He means the game will get
Kick
off the
your ass.
shelf. The game will get off the shelf, drive to your house, knock on your door, and kick your ass.
Yeah, at least I get a free copy then at that point, but ow, my ass.
Ow, my ass. I need that.
Yeah, so KG, one Brave Dungeon playthrough when I finally get a chance to play it, boy. I have no idea yet. Just know this week is packed lightning, and we still have Saturday shenanigans to go through with Smash and tacos and shenanigans and whatnot, so...
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
look forward to it. Fun times all around, ladies and gents. Fun times all around. So, yeah, look forward to it. Now then, let's get into some actual news then, outside of the PS5 shenanigans and, for some reason, Subway. I wanted to ask you guys real quick. Obviously, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl leaks, specifically Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl leaks, have been dropping left and right. We've been getting a lot more information about the game. And this is something that I don't think is really that major per se, given that it is supposed to be a 1-to-1 remake of the original Diamond and Pearl game that came out back in 2006, was it?
Yeah, 2006.
2006, okay. So, with that being said, I wanted to give a bit of a warning to chat real quick. And I want to ask you guys before we even begin if you guys feel comfortable enough to talk about Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, or if you
I have been actively avoiding any leaks. So I will be sitting this one out.
Hey,
Okay.
TSS, do you want one of us to give you the signal to come back in?
Yes.
I have no opinion from somebody who really likes Sword and
So-
Shield and thinks Pokemon are cute.
Koro,
Alright.
can you give him the signal to come back in?
I
Yeah.
don't care. I'm not going to buy the game. I want to bash on the leaks.
All right. Well, but at me in the chat once you guys
All
are
right,
done.
yeah. Somebody give TSS.
yeah,
the
don't worry,
signal.
we'll give him the okays.
Yeah, we'll give him the signal.
All right. So
All right, TSS, thank
I
you
am
for
out.
letting us know in advance, and I'm hoping we'll speak with you really soon. Don't worry, it's probably not going to take that long anyway, I see.
Probably 5-10 minutes. So
Exactly.
Yeah,
yeah.
all right.
So
Let
we'll
it
see you
rip.
soon, buddy. All right, then. So let's begin, ladies and gents. And once again, before I continue, let me remind folks, we will be talking about leaks. We will be mentioning BDSP content. If you guys are a little mixed on it, just giving you a heads up right now in regards to that. Secondly, it's a game from 10, 15 years ago, so there's not necessarily much new per se. If you guys were expecting a faithful 1-to-1 remake, you kind of got it, and then kind of don't, but I'll explain about that right now. So heads up, ladies and gents, counting down to discussion in 3, 2, 1. All
We're all
right.
gonna fucking die. That's it.
So let's begin, ladies and gents. So what
Oh my
exactly
God.
is going on right now? What exactly is happening with the game? So before we get into the actual game at hand, let's talk about the fact that there is actually no opening/intro movie, only a black screen with the logo of the game itself.
Oh no!
And reason why? Well, most people might not actually be familiar with this, but there supposedly is a day one patch for this title. It was actually talked about in one of the trailers beforehand, but now we're getting confirmation, thanks to the footage that we're seeing of this game, that yeah, it kind of needs a day one patch to play certain things from this title. So let's get into that. Why don't we? So yeah, for some reason there's literally just no intro movie screen, just a black screen with the logo, which is I think
It's
very
the
hilarious.
distortion world being constructed.
So you want to talk about distortion world real quick? Okay, so there was a big thing happening when the games were coming out. That people were saying that there is a battle frontier and also there is a distortion world that exists in this game. Yeah, that was a lie. That wasn't true.
Well, that was
Who
a
would have
fucking lie.
guessed with Masuda on the helm? Wow.
And also, who would have guessed with the actual map of Diamond and Pearl literally showing you that there's only just a battle tower on the top right of the map? So, yes, there is no battle frontier at all whatsoever. The only thing you will be given is a battle tower. There is no multi-battle in battle tower as well. So, just another thing to keep note. Secondly, In Distortion World, there is none, first of all. However, apparently there is a nice room, as they call it, for Giratina, which is supposedly looking like a Distortion World, but it's not the Distortion World. It just happens to conveniently look like one. I don't know
Oh
what that
fuck.
means because I have no image to show
It's
off.
it's the attic of the Turnback Cave.
So what else we got going on? So let's continue. So Pal Park, everybody remembers Pal Park is where you transfer your GBA mons over to your DS series. You know, with Diamond Pearl, Black, White, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, etc. Well, that has been given a new name titled Romanus Park. At this current moment, it is unknown as to how or what is inside that game.
What?
Yeah, because apparently I think that's part of the day one patch. You need the day one patch to access this area. At least that's what people are speculating. Because somebody managed to get the complete original, which is confirmed by the way. It is the original DP Dex. It's not the Platinum Dex. So when you fill up the original Diamond and Pearl Dex, the National Dex will open up. Only for the original 493, though for some reason Sylveon is being talked about, though we have no clear indication as to why that's the case. However, because of that, normally when you get the National Dex, Pal Park would open up. However, despite that, Romanus Park is still currently closed. So it seems that the park will probably not open until we get the day one patch for the title. So keep that in mind. Now, secondly, let's talk about some of our favorite Pokemon out there. You guys like Mew?
What?
Yeah, just out of curiosity. You like Mew? You know?
I think that Go is the one that should answer that. You,
I,
Gigi.
I think Mew's okay.
Okay.
He's neat. He's neat.
I
So-
like Snubble and Granbull. Are they gonna be in this game?
Is my boy Arbok in this game? So
I don't know why that was so funny to me. I guess it was just the innocence behind it. I
yeah,
like,
it's just the
like
pureness of
Granbull.
it. It's so cute.
Oh, that could be in this game? No.
I don't care about legendary.
Listen,
just
the
one.
493 mons from Kanto to Diamond and Pearl Sinnoh are all in this game. Whether or how you get them, though, I have still no idea in regards to that bit yet. However, the reason why I brought up the Pokemon Mew is because if you happen to have a Let's Go Pikachu or a Let's Go Eevee save in your Switch, you can talk to somebody who will give you the Pokemon Mew in the game. And that also applies for another mythical, Jirachi. If you happen to have a sword or a shield save in
What?
your Switch, you will be given a Jirachi.
It's
as a gift.
weird.
It's
Jirachi
because of
isn't even fucking Sinnoh.
it's because of the wishing star from the Dynamax. From
Oh, got it.
yeah. Then
That makes
again,
sense.
then again, it's a slap to the face to those who bought the Pokeball Plus and those who had the Urdle of Colosseum back in the day.
Yeah, now we can actually get it through just having a save file. You don't even need like a full 12-hour save file. If you want, just go and grab from a friend who has Sword Shield, Let's Go, and just have it save into your system, give the game back, and you're good to go. You got yourself a free Mew and a free Jirachi via a gift. I forgot
weird.
how you get it, but I think an old man and an old woman just gives it to you, by the way. I think that's what it is.
Weird.
So yeah, that's another thing to kind of note about that. What else do we got to talk about? So let's get into it. There is no new forms. There is no new moves. There's no new megas. No new characters. No new events. And no new of anything really so far. All the trainers teams that are shown off in this game seem to be based on the DP teams, not the platinum ones. That also applies to levels as well. That also means that because they decide to bring back the Exp system that was from Sword and Shield and also bring back the walking mechanic from those titles as well, your team could instantly be over leveled because of this. Gym puzzles are also based on the Diamond and Pearl puzzles as well, just to let people know. there is no platinum exclusive characters. So if you guys liked by any chance Looker, I believe was his name, he is nowhere to be found.
Wait, so Pluto's not in this game either?
Nope.
Nope.
Damn.
However, just to note, just because it's not the platinum team doesn't mean that the diamond and pearl team didn't get a bit of tweaking, because it was confirmed that the movesets for those Pokemon have indeed changed. Now, as to how much of a drastic change it is, I don't know really.
They probably just added some, like, for Pokemon that would have normally had fairy moves or moves that turned into fairy, they did that accordingly, because obviously they had to make some type changes.
I do know that Maylene's Lucario now has Bulk Up, and she still has Drain Punch. Drain Punch back in the day it was like 60 power, now it's 75. With Bulk Up, it kind of helps a little bit. As for Cynthia's Garchomp, that I don't know, but I remember that Cynthia's Garchomp in DP had Brick Break for Ice types, and Flamethrower for Ice types as well, but in Platinum, so maybe her Garchomp has a Steel move for Ice and Fairy, like Iron Tail or Iron Head, but it's still unconfirmed.
Yeah, we haven't really learned much of that yet.
The same goes for the GTS in Jube Live. We don't know if that's there or if it's there, what it will be. In the end of the day, this is just, Diamond and Pearl. It's the Diamond and Pearl flavor, but without the calories.
So, now, other things to note as well is that the Pokemon apparently have different cries when fainting. Okay, so that's interesting. Most of the battle music in the game, and this was already confirmed via the trailer footage that we got, as well as footage that was given to reviewers and all that. The battle music in the game is unfinished and kind of sounds sloppy, according to some people. Hopefully, this is going to be something that will be patched. We don't know as of yet right now. There are multiple visual glitches in the game, which will probably also be patched as well. One of the most noticeable glitches in the game is that normally when you begin a battle, like how you always have a Pokeball in your hand before you throw it? Yeah, that Pokeball's not there. You're just holding nothing. But your arms are animated to look like as if you're holding a Pokeball, but it's nothing.
How is this remotely acceptable?
Don't worry, it'll get patched.
That doesn't matter. How is it now we gotta wait for it? Sword and Shield didn't even fuck that up. Fucking Auras didn't either. Or X and Y. Why is this suddenly a problem now?
Also, there are some moments, I believe one of the Pokemon, actually, when they throw out the Pokeball doesn't even spawn in, so, like, a Golbat just miraculously kind of just spawns in the screen for no reason whatsoever.
It's unfucking acceptable.
And Infernape, while battling Byron, he's floating in the air.
Patches, ladies and gentlemen.
What the fuck is this? Hold up, what?
Yeah, there's a lot of visual glitches, musical glitches, amongst other things as well, like Kuro mentioned, with just floating in midair. How do you do that?
Ain't this Pokemon game somebody's kid?
I will say a good thing is I don't mind if there's no new characters added. I'm not even talking about Looker or Pluto. I forgot that was it.
K-Ron. Yeah.
I'm talking about the rival from Let's Go Peak. It's just weird to me. Yeah, it's weird to me when completely new characters out of nowhere are in remakes. I don't know. I mean, Lyra's an exception. I like Lyra, everybody. I know you all are Chris stans, but...
Lyra only exists because the world couldn't handle Chris anymore.
The manga made it that way.
Mm-hmm.
She's the exception. But yeah, I don't mind that part, but everything else, it's like...
Like, the only thing that I was hoping, it's not even expecting, it's hoping, it's like, in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, we see Mina, because of fairy types in Kanto and Alola, and in Aurus, we create new characters like Zinnia. We don't even get that here.
Oh, wait, I will say I love Zinnia, but Zinnia is like a special, because that whole plot line was new.
Yeah, that was episode...
Since we have no new plot line, that's why we don't have any new characters.
It's kind of an X, Y, and Z character, actually, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which also is something I want to bring up later when we get to it soon. But we still got a little bit more to talk about before we continue. So yeah, the Pokeball animation, also just to let you know, Tyrone, that isn't only an issue that your character possesses. If you're like in a double battle with like Barry, for example, he will also have the same animation of having like a Pokeball in his hand without having the Pokeball. in his hand.
Bullshit. Who would stop and sit there and go, yeah, that's fine?
You for the...
I'm gonna find you for taking my ball out of my hand. Where the hell did it go? Okay, so many Pokemon have new item animations based on their Diamond and Pearl sprites, which I think is actually pretty cool that they actually went that far out of their details for that. So I give them props for that bit. Now, let's talk about the Exp system. This is, if you are familiar with Sword and Shields and also I think Let's Go, this also applies here. Having your Pokemon follow you will raise their friendship very quickly. So it basically works as an easy mode, as it will gain EXP more quickly, dodge attacks, and etc. The original Diamond and Pearl HMs are also now seen as TMs as well. TMs are confirmed, and it was shown off before in the past, that they will be of single use again. However, trainers like gym leaders can give you multiple of the same TMs. Which kind of begs the question why you go to that length if you could just make
I
everything
taught my Cyndaquil flamethrower 5 times. I'm not even going to imagine how wrong that sentence is.
So, yeah, as things are happening, we finally got more information on that part. It's starting to slowly get little by little now because obviously we're learning that this game really is just straight up DP.
This is what happens when you try to appeal to two audiences and none of them are pleased.
My question is, and this is what we brought up before, I don't know what BDSP is trying to be, because it's trying to be... supposedly it's a one-to-one remake, right? That's what you were talking about many times before, Tyrone, when we learned about BDSP. You were very happy about the fact that it's looking to be more, as time passed on,
it had so many problems. I thought it'd be funny, but this is funnier.
Yeah, and then you find out that BDSP is like, nah, let's add it up a notch. Let's add some Sword and Shield elements. Let's add some Let's Go elements. Let's add some things that people dislike and just make that be a core mechanic now. And also, let's just straight up change the game and not even make it look like one-to-one, despite it having all of the same elements of that, which is weird, but it's a thing, I guess.
You know what I find it funny? Like, Diamond and Pearl, right? 2006, 2007, right? So, the Pokemon demographic, 8 to 12-year-olds, right? That's why the characters are mainly 10. So these remakes are for the new demographic, right? For people who were born after, the originals. So imagine people watching the anime and they see Voltner with Luxray, Electivire, and Rotom. And they go to play that shit. And, oh look, an Ambipom and Octillery. Wait, what?
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're right.
Poor Flint. God damn.
Hey, listen, man. My favorite fire Pokemon is Lopunny, bro, and you gonna have to hear that from me.
Personally, my favorite fire Pokemon is Steelix, but
Did you guys see John's edit that he made of Paul saying that gym is not legit about Volkner? But he said when Volkner sends out Octillery and BDSP. Oh, legit.
You know what it hurts the most? Like, it hurts the most because we know that Platinum Pokemon are in the underground. So what was the point of making the hideaways to begin?
That's what I'm still so confused by. What the hell is the point of the hideaway? You bring in the Platinum mods and you're like, yeah, we're not gonna do that.
Can someone make that one meme where it's like the fire Pokemon and then it shows Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl? Let me in! Let me in!
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about that. The underground, right. That didn't get justice at all at this one. They stripped out the decoration mechanics and flag mechanics that they had in the original Diamond and Pearl games in this one. Damn, bro. That's...
I think Sergi also contributed to
I think he was the one that initiated it, if anything.
Y'all sure y'all want me to play Brilliant Diamond? I can stream Platinum, guys. I can make it so much easier for y'all.
Just play Platinum with the widescreen mode. You're good to go, buddy.
We don't have to do this. Damn.
So yeah,
this game's fucked.
No. It's not messed up. When you get the day one patch, all of these issues will disappear.
No, they won't.
Are you sure about that?
Flint's still gonna use Drip Whip. That's not
my My goal in life is to listen to the reorchestrated versions of Heart Home City, the Lake Trio, and the Galactic themes.
You
And
mean
then I'll
the MIDI versions that sound bad?
Sorry, I'm sorry, Polly. Nothing will ever beat Super Smash Brothers version of Team Galactic. That's untouchable to this day to
Oh,
me.
Emmy, are you talking about the Dialga? Did you guys see that? That shit had me laughing. You know, like how the Pokemon now
Yeah.
follow you in the back and all that? You know, like how in Let's Go, they made it, like, legitimately really cool where they actually kind of are in similar proportion to their size and whatnot, and you can even ride them sometimes?
Mm-hmm.
Dialga and Palkia, they're just as chibi as well. I ain't
Yep.
gonna post that image on here because obvious reasons, but that shit is so like it's
About
bad. It's baby Dialga, boy.
about the TM situation. Like, not even Let's Go did that. Like, and now even with the scaling of the Pokemon, so this game looks worse than Let's Go.
Yeah, it's a miracle.
I think John pointed this one out too. He said that I remember he made a tweet where it was like the Pokemon's affinity stats will go up, thus causing them pretty much cheese battles. So John goes, "Okay, I guess I won't be walking with my Pokemon." And I'm like, "This is sad, man. This is sad."
I think it's because you transfer Pokemon from Go, and in Go the buddy system gives you the affection buff. So they are trying to make this game being a plethora of everything else. It wants to remake DP. It wants to have platinum stuff, but without the platinum stuff. It wants to have the Sword and Shield stuff, but not being linked to Sword and Shield. It wants to have Go mechanics, but not being Go. This is a Frankenstein of a game.
That is a perfect explanation for that. Holy
Now, for younger kids to have the Pokemon to have the ability to like suck out the fucking poison or whatever in the middle of a battle or whatever, I get it. It's to help make it easier. I want the option to turn it the fuck off. I still want to walk with my Pokemon. I just don't want them broken in the fight.
What's that? You want it permanently on, like EXP Share All, where you can't even disable it at all? Gotcha, homie.
Our Gold Soul Silver let you walk with all the Pokemon, and it never even had the option to break the game with it. You just walk with them. Occasionally, a Pokemon that's walking behind you will find an item here and there, but that's more or less discovery. That's different.
And they don't become super friends with you or anything like that.
And that's only if you bother to talk to them. Yes, you can do the whole journey walking with your Pokemon without ever saying a word. It's awkward as fuck. But
let's go.
it's awkward as shit, but you can do it. But here, I just want the option. I don't even care if you put it in the game. Just give me the option to flip it on and flip it the fuck off. Like that's it. That's all. I just want options. It's an RPG. I just want the options.
No.
Okay. Will Snubble and Granbull be in this game? No.
No. Well, I mean, were they originally in Diamond and Pearl, Polly?
No.
Let me check.
I'll check no. They were not even in the platinum decks.
Damn.
Oh, they're in the national decks.
I only played
if they are transferable or hideaway. They will be fairy types because now fairy types are a thing. But no, guys, we will not have Sylveon most likely. So
it's still being talked about regarding Sylveon, which is kind of funny that that's a thing. So that means instead of 493, we're getting 494, boys. Why? Don't ask.
Damn.
Take me on a journey.
And also, I don't know about the Galarian forms or the Alolan forms or whatever.
All right, so check this out, Kuro. Yes and no. You're right and you're wrong. Snubble's in the game, but here's the caveat.
Poke Radar?
Yes. Poke Radar.
Poke Radar.
Poke Radar.
Isn't that post game though?
Yes, that's post game. So you got to beat the game.
But will it be post game now though? That's the question.
Yeah.
The Poke Radar is under construction.
Most of the Pokemon in Diamond and Pearl are locked behind Poke Radar. Most of them are post-game. And some of the Pokemon are just unobtainable now. For example, you could get Elekid and Magmy if you had a copy of Fire Red or Leaf Green in your DS Dual slot. How does that even work in this game?
I'm
Hideaway.
assuming they're gonna do it in the hideaway.
No,
Yeah.
because the GBA it was the under slot, the DS was the upper slot. So the Hideaway it's kind of the in-universe under slot. So maybe the GBA Pokemon are in the Hideaway.
God damn, this is a mess, bruh.
It's an
BSDP,
experience.
Barry.
Damn.
So yeah, overall Diamond and Pearl coming out 2 weeks, ladies and gents. We are very close to it, and I hope you guys are looking forward to our shenanigans.
Same week as my funky ass birthday.
Happy birthday, Tyrone. You get what you deserve.
Yeah,
A good-
you get what you fucking deserve.
Oh, it's an 8 gigabyte game with a 2 gigabyte update. Apparently, Evo
Oh
says.
my god.
So 10 GB update. Oh Jesus Christ!
You
That's
get what you fucking deserve.
also I love those
That's a
shits.
physical thing because that's all going to Animal Crossing. All those gigabytes.
Oh yes, indeed. Because the new Animal Crossing update came out, and I was reminded why I stopped playing the game.
What?
Yeah, I'm not very creative. I saw my land and my island, and I was like, all right, time to actually be innovative. And then I look and I'm like,
Shit. I want to
can't
remind you
build
guys.
shit.
I want to remind you guys.
Right.
On Minecraft, this motherfucker made a whole castle.
But I
Yeah,
can't
I'm
build my
confused.
island though.
But
Can't
you're the
build
one
an
who had like
island.
Jesus, and you had 10 million.
Excuse
bells.
you, it's 100 million bells. And also,
Oh,
secondly, yes and no. So yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I did do it at first in the game. However, I also played around with the bells and the turnips, and I became the 2% now in the world of
Still
Animal
more.
Crossing.
Hey, I
And then you get
also
more.
want to like let you guys know a little bit because obviously this is the same way. If it's going the same way as Diamond and Pearl, then this is more than likely what you're getting. So I'm gonna name the Diamond exclusive first and the Pearl exclusives. The Diamond exclusives are Seal, Dugong, Scyther, Murkrow, Scizor, Lavatar, Pupitar, Tyranitar, Poochiana, Mightyena, Aeron, Lyron, Aggron, Kelcleon, Cranidos, Rampardos, Honchkrow, Stunky, Stuntank, and Dialga. The Pearl exclusives are Slowpoke, Slowbro, Pinsir, Slowking, Misdreavus, Houndour, Houndoom, Stantler, Spiel, Celio, Warlin, Bagon, Shelgon, Salamence, Shieldon, Bastiodon, Miss Magius, Glameow, Purugly, and Palkia, which means for some reason, you get Kelcleon and Diamond, but in Pearl you get fucking Bagon, Shelgon, and Salamence. The fuck?
At least like
No, okay. Not that you actually mention it, because well, the platinum decks we had, Houndour and Houndoom nearby, Azelf's Lake Valor. But in Diamond and Pearl, they were version exclusives in the radar. So will the Houndoom of the Hideaway will be in the Hideaway, but only in Shining Pearl?
That's a good question.
This is fucked.
Alright, should we get TSS back? No, I think we're good.
Yeah,
Overall, ladies and gents, just let you know, BDSP is coming out in a few days. Hope you guys are looking forward to it.
this is fucked.
Alright, let's go and grab TSS. How do we say at TSS? Yo. There we go.
If you want good Pokemon game news, well, good quote unquote, it's just updates.
All right.
We're
Shadow Lugia is in Go, and the CGI is going to arrive to Unite. So
Shadow Lugia is going to go. There you go, chat. All right, now, anyway, so that was our talk. TSS, once again, thank you for that as well, giving us a chance to talk a little bit about it. Hope you're looking forward to the game when it comes out, buddy. So we talked about the title already. We're going to brush that to the side now. Everybody in the chat also brush it to the side. And let's get into tonight's main shenanigan, why don't we? Because I believe we got a lot to talk about. And I feel we don't have as much time as you think we might have for this shenanigans.
Are we going to talk about the 25,000 Crystal Pikachu?
Yes, I'm going to totally be buying one. So, totally. No, I ain't. But it would be really awesome to own one. Now, either I can buy the $410 one, or I could buy the $25,000 one. Honestly, out of the two, they're kind of both the same pricing anyway, but not really sure which one I should go for, though. So, I'll let you guys in the chat decide.
They will be paperweights like the PS5, just more expensive.
Exactly, and then it'll just be in the background just for decor purposes. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah.
All right then. So, let's get into it then, ladies and gents. Everybody here in this call ready for tonight's review segment then?
Going last.
Yes.
All right. Well, actually, before we get into the review, let's actually get a list real quick as to who's going first, second, third, fourth, last. TSS, you already stated your last. Obviously,
Yes.
I'll be going first. Tyrone, what position would you like?
I'll go after Polly.
And
Okay.
Polly, where would you be placed in?
Second.
You want to go after me then? All right.
Oh,
So
I'll be before Koro, and Koro will be after TSS.
Oh, before.
no. Kuro will be after you, Tyrone.
Yeah, I'll be fourth. I'll be fourth.
Yeah,
I was going to ask to be third, but I'll go fourth. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. So, me, Polly, Tyrone, Kuro, and then TSS. We got that? Chat?
Yeah.
All right, everybody, let's get into it. Ladies and gents, let's get into tonight's review of Pocket Monsters 2019. This is the episode everybody has been anticipating for. Well, kind of. It's part 2, basically, we should say. So it's the continuation of where we last left off our adventures in the world of Pokemon 2019, where it was the first half of the fight between Ash and Bee. So now, we're now in the second episode of this fight, titled, if I recall correctly, Mega Evolution versus Kyodaimax. Let me briefly read the summary of this one, and then we'll get into the review. So, Satoshi and Saito are fighting a seesaw battle, and as neither of them yield an inch, they both eventually end up with one Pokemon left. Satoshi's Lucario and Saito's Kairiki, aka the Machamp. Saito Kyodaimax's Kairiki, and Satoshi faces her with his Mega Evolved Lucario. Which of them will the goddess of victory smile upon? Alright then, so let's get into the review. Let me begin. I'm going to say right now, let's start talking about some of the positives. And honestly, the biggest praise I can give about this episode, in my wholehearted opinion, the animation in this episode was what carried this fight, bro. I'm going to say that right now. The animation carried everything in terms of enjoyment for this episode, bro. You can say the same for music as well, but music is, of course, music. At the end of the day, most of the Pokemon music is always great, so there's not really much of a high stake for that part there. We all knew it was going to be that way. So, the animation in this episode, I believe, was incredible, especially for Sirfetch'd. There are some moments in that fight with Sirfetch'd that I really, really appreciate. Like he did the Captain America toss with that shield and actually lunging it towards the Hawlucha. Or straight up saying, yo, and let me get a boost in air real quick. So he slams the goddamn leak into the ground and uses that as a way to lift himself upward into the sky and dive down towards the Hawlucha. You cannot tell me that shit was not incredible. Like, I love the animation in that sequence. That was honestly really fantastic. Secondly, the other bit that I also enjoyed has to also be at the finale of the episode, specifically with the Lucario and Ash bit, where they do the Force Palm move together, which then converts into something else, but we don't care about that part right now. It's the animation leading up to the fight. So that sequence of event I thought was really cool. I love the animation there, the aura shaping into the fist and all that between both Satoshi and Lucario. 10 out of 10 in terms of animation for that. Iwane, you really killed it. You nailed it. You went nuts in this episode. Both Masaki Iwane and Izumi Shimura were the two that worked on this episode in terms of animation director. In my opinion, they really carried this fight throughout. Music, once again, I thought was also really great. Other sequences of events that I can also give praise to was the new Thunderbolt animation we got from Pikachu in this fight as well. Kind of gave me a reminiscent vibe from the Volcanion movie where Pikachu used Thunderbolt against like all the Megas. Like I kind of got that vibe in this animation sequence as well, where like the camera kind of just circles around Pikachu using the Thunderbolt on Hawlucha. Kind of got that vibe through that. So I really enjoyed that bit. So yeah, just like noteworthy moments. And then of course, how can one not talk about the fact that we also got to see Lucario, specifically Mega Lucario at that. run and leap forward, do some Shadow of the Colossus shit for like a brief minute where it goes upwards towards the Machamp and hits it in the face. I thought that was actually pretty cool. Let me take that out of the way now. The positives, like I stated, I really enjoyed the animation. I think that was one of the best part about it. The other thing I also enjoyed, it was a brief moment, but I really did appreciate it, was the ending of the episode where Saito finally sees and acknowledges Ash not as a trainer with Lucario, but now as simply Ash. And I thought that was actually a nice touch to kind of wrap things up between these two characters. For now, whether they'll bring this character back or not, we don't know. We could get journeys, we could not get journeys. It's all up to whether or not the series will actually do something with B moving forward. But of course, we also have other Sword and Shield characters we might want to put some more attention to later down the road. So we'll take I guess an IOU on that regards over there. We'll see what happens in the future. But yeah, in regards to the B and Satoshi finale, within the little fist bump they gave, the Pokemon episode finally coming to a close, with Ash looking forward, noticing that he has Leon, Raihan, Lance, which I'm still surprised is still around, and Cynthia. Yeah, that's how the episode ended. So overall, what more can I say when it comes to the animation and the interaction at the end? Then job well done on that bit. Now let's get into the actual fight at hand, because I'm gonna be real with you all right now. You can have the cleanest animation in history, for all I know, but if the choreography or just straight up the way the fight is handled is poor, very poor at that, it's not gonna leave a good impression on me. Bro, I'm gonna be real with you. The first half of this episode was absolute trash. I'm gonna be real with you. That first half of this episode was just straight up horrible, in my opinion. That was a sloppy mess, especially with how fast they tried to go through all of that. No, thank you, bro. Like, okay, I will give praise on one bit. They did get the Lucario out as quick as possible. I stated in the last review that I was thinking it was kind of stupid to kind of have Lucario still maintained in the next episode at the beginning of the fight, but they took care of that shit immediately and called Lucario back, and then Surfetch came into the field. When Surfetch came into the field, however, that's where I feel the issues began to arise, because the episode, especially when you start taking note about like what happened within these two episodes and try to apply it to the Pokemon, it really makes you kind of mad about how much disrespect they gave certain mons in this fight. So let's talk about Surfetch. Surfetch, I'm sorry, got absolutely destroyed in this episode. I think it was so, I don't know if disrespectful is the right word, but I was absolutely pissed off by the fact that Surfetch got his ass knocked out by the same Mon, by the way, just to remind people, by the same Mon that knocked him out in the original fight that they had back then in the earlier episodes of Journeys. That same Halucha that we saw was that same one that kicked his ass in this episode as well. Meaning that we'll never see a proper conclusion for Surfetch on that regards, because apparently Lucario has two rivals in this goddamn fight. The recently acquired one that he just made, and then the one that he's had since the beginning of this whole introduction between Ash and B, which is the Graplock. So we'll talk more about that later. In my opinion, Surfetch was just absolutely destroyed by one hit, by the way. Let's be clear. He did get to use his shield to block the attacks out of the Machamp, but Surfetch was easily able to kind of bounce back on that and hit Machamp in the center, allowing the Pokemon to return to then fight against Halucha. And then it gets his ass demolished by a God the Bird, as you guys call it. So here's where the thing begins to really boil me so much. Why is it that the Pokemon was able to be taken out with such a simple hit like that when you put that alongside a Lucario in between both episodes, including a G-Max move, was able to eat all of that shit up? But the Surfetch only had to just get hit once, which, by the way, he appeared in this episode. He didn't appear beforehand. Let's just reiterate. He showed up in this fight, in this episode. Why did he get his ass beat once in this one, but Lucario is able to eat all that shit up from all of the beatdown that it got from both respective episodes? There's a sense of one of those issues where it's like you can make something believable and then you just straight up ruin that believability by just making it to the point of just get over it already, you know? So Lucario just eating all this shit up while Surfetch out here just being like, nah, I'm gonna get my ass beat by one single God the Bird. So yeah, kind of sucks on that part there. So unfortunately, Surfetch took the L. Pikachu, for some reason, needs to get a win, I guess, because apparently we can't make this thing lose no more. So Pikachu got himself a W against the Hawlucha. Did get his ass beat by the Grab Block though. And yeah, immediately after that, let's get into the rival now between Lucario and the Grab Block. I love and I hate how Ash was like, okay, your rival's here. Let's just take him out with one hit. And when you hear that at first, you're like, what the fuck do you mean by that? One hit? Like that shit's ever gonna happen. Oh, shit. And yeah, so we kid you not, literally the episode shows you, Lucario was like, listen, you might be the rival I got since the very beginning, but I got bigger fish to fry apparently, so I'm gonna just beat your ass with one single Aura Sphere and just call an end to that rivalry by one single hit, because that wasn't the big thing everybody was waiting for. It was the Machamp in hand. And so the Grab Block got his ass beat. So that first half of the episode, to me, in my honest opinion, was very sloppy. Just, I did not find much enjoyment out of that, especially when taking into consideration how much Hawlucha took a beatdown, and yet you're telling me that all these other mons just can go out like that. It's just kind of, I don't know, very weird to me in terms of just storytelling for those mons. So that's all I gotta say on that bit. Now, the Machamp and Lucario bit, I will say was the better half of the episode. I really enjoyed how they tried, and I repeat that, how they attempted to try to replicate the actual mechanic of Gigantamaxing by limiting it to just 3 moves, because once it uses those 3 moves, that's when it shrinks back down, of course. I did like that attempt in using that in this fight. So we got to see Machamp attack back, forward, all that jab, you know, and then we get to the Lucario bit here. You know, I've joked about off-screen land. We've all done our jokes about off-screen land, but never did I think we would ever get to see the day when off-screen land would legitimately become a canon thing to the storyline. Especially when you start taking into considerations that this series is supposed to take elements from past generations and incorporate it into this storyline. The Megastone just suddenly spawning from the skies above and just happening to just be in front of Lucario to Mega Evolve. I would not find this an issue whatsoever, because I didn't find this an issue with Sun and Moon. Let that be clear. With Sun and Moon, they did that same stunt as well with both the Gyarados and the Steelix as well. They've done this before, so why am I criticizing it now? What's the difference between the Sun and Moon one and the Journeys one? Just to kind of let people get a clear understanding where I'm going at with this. I didn't have an issue with the Sun and Moon one because X and Y wasn't involved. When they took the elements of X and Y out of the storyline and just used the Sun and Moon storyline and did their own things their way, because that's their show. But Journeys is bringing elements from all generations into this story. And when you bring a character back that incorporates and still uses, by the way, that cool little thing that Lucario has attached to him as a body part for the Megastone, you would only hope that, you know, maybe Ash's Lucario can do that same thing as well. Maybe instead of like having it attached to the arm or something, maybe they'll have it like an earring piece for the Lucario or some other like scarf or something, some kind of an attachment to bring back that element from X and Y, that cool feature from X and Y that was only exclusively in the anime, by having that in Ash's team, because that would be a cool little feature for the Pokemon, since we've had it before in the past. Sceptile with the nice little twig. You know, what else was there? The Crocodile with the shades, the Squirtle with the shades. I mean, we've had Pokemon in the past who brought accessories with them, so it's no surprise that we would hope to see that something like simple as that, as a simple accessory, to also be applied to Lucario too, to make it feel distinct as well, you know? It's not any Lucario, it's Ash's Lucario. Let's try to give it a little bit more extra pizzazz, no? Nah, we're just gonna get the stone to spawn in midair. And then just happen to float in front of Lucario's face, because it can apparently do that. I guess that some other Pokemon can't. I really don't like that, especially when it's glaringly obvious that the X and Y stuff is being brought into the storyline. So yeah, and then the fight at hand, uh, it was a fight. So yeah, not much more I can really say on the fight. I really, like I stated before, I like the elements of the whole Shadow of the Colossus thing with the Lucario. I like seeing how Lucario and the Machamp were fighting back and forth. It felt really good. And then the big finale when it began to learn the new move and use it to beat the Machamp, and thus ending the fight as a whole. Like I stated, I didn't enjoy the first half as much. I found the second half to be okay, thus wrapping this episode up as a whole and leaving me with mixed emotions overall. It felt like it wanted to do so much, yet accomplishes, in my opinion, very little when it comes to paying respect to the series where these mechanics come from, and also straight up, I guess, being very rushed in certain parts of the fight, bro. It did make me laugh, but I didn't laugh with it. I laughed at it. Let that be cleared. That's a key thing I want to point out. So, yeah, overall, my experience with this episode, it really wasn't a fascinating one. It really is one of the worst fights, in my opinion, within Journeys, which isn't really that much to say because I didn't really enjoy much of Journey's fights, to be fair with you. So this is just, unfortunately, another one to add to that collection. Where would I rate it overall? In terms of like an animation and musical aspect, I would really like to say I'll give it a solid 6 in terms of that part. But when we bring into the fight as a whole and bring into like elements that, like the mechanics, the rivalries, all that stuff, where does that lead? Probably at a 4. I'm going to be real with you. And as a whole, for the fight between two episodes, I'll give it a 5. So that's my take overall. An episode that really just kind of left me very, very sour throughout. That I really wish that the animation could have carried this entire fight. But ultimately, because certain things had to play out in certain ways, other Pokemon and other battles within this 3v3 fight had to sadly be brushed to the side just to get to the main event. And ultimately, that really harmed, I think, what could have been a good 3v3 fight. Especially when you realize just like how cool of a concept Mega Evolution versus Gigantamax is, and ultimately feeling very dissatisfying to me. Let that be clear. This is how I personally feel about this episode. What these others here in this call will say will definitely differ in terms of opinions, but I just want to state this is just how I feel personally. If you enjoyed, disliked the episode, by all means, that's your take. Just I wanted to use this platform as a way to just simply express my take as a whole. So that's all I got to say on that part. Now I pass it on to the next person then. Apologies for going a little long with this one, but I just felt like I had a lot to say. Polly?
Well, and to be honest, before we continue, to be honest, this is really appreciated because you don't normally talk a lot about it, and I'm really appreciated that you actually took the time and broke everything down. So
yeah, I felt like
hats off to you.
Well, to be fair, I'm also doing a 2-parter as well. Now it gives me more to talk about,
Yeah, it gives you more meat to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct. Okay, so, Polly's next.
Exactly. So, Polly, I will gladly pass this one on to you. I really would like to hear your take on this episode and, of course, your score at the end of it all. So, take it away, buddy.
Okay. I'm going to pull a JPR and do the format as things I like and things, obviously, I didn't like. But I'll skim through the things I like because actually a lot of my opinions are the same as yours. I literally said the animation was incredible, especially the Surfetched part. There was one part where it like spun around and it actually reminded me a lot of the Deku Bakugo fight with when he did that awesome like turn and like obviously the One for All is like glowing and when Surfetched Leak was glowing, I don't know, I thought that was really cool. Maybe it's just Hayashi's music. Pikachu tail thingy was cool. That's all I have on that.
What?
You know the one where Iron Tail's on the floor and then quick attack?
I mean yeah.
Vibrating Pikachu. Got it.
So shut up. Overdrive vibrator. I apologize, Polly. Continue.
So being that I like Machamp and I like that whole line, I obviously thought the Gigantamax Machamp was cool. However, story-wise, I wish the last two standing would have been obviously Graplock and Lucario. But I get it, they had to check off the Gigantamax box. So it's kind of like irritating for me because it's like they were the original two rivals early on in the series, but again, not a huge problem as much as I have problems with other things. Music, I'm glad they used the Champion Iris, the Sacred Swordsman music for the Mega Evolution part. Again, though, I wish they did that Latios, that revamp OST. The one that they did for Misty and Brock when they came back in Sun and Moon and they did their Mega Evolution scenes. Which they still can do, but regardless, yay, Miyazaki music. It was cool. So that's really the stuff I liked. Now, basically, I see this two-parter as kind of the checkpoint arc to get to the real meat and potatoes, which is obviously Leon. The problem is, I just don't know if I can really call B one of Ash's strongest rivals, and not in terms of like actual strength, but in terms of like writing. Like I do consider her a rival, obviously, but just not as a main rival. Because when I think of Ash's main rivals, besides the strength and power and battling stuff, it's like they're always, for me, it's like there's always some sort of clashing of ideals or like a significant relationship between the two, such as Ash and Gary being childhood friends, or Ash and Sawyer having a mentor-mentee relationship, or obviously Paul and Ash, or even I would go as far as to say Trip and Ash having a clashing of ideals. B is simply just a strong trainer. The battle to me was actually decent. I didn't think it was terrible. Like I enjoyed watching it. My issue is it's just not going to stick personally with me the way other major rival battles have stuck with me. And it's like in a sense we've gotten a bit of build up with the first B episodes early on, but the problem is they were just so far back at this point that any potential for like that on your feet rivalry or that on your feet battle it's just kind of lost its momentum. That's just my opinion. But Polly, you say, you act like every other rival in every other series had better writing than B. I mean, Ursula was introduced late, Barry was introduced late, Trip and Kenny lost in their first rounds, and obviously there were other rivals that were bland as hell. Yes, I know. The key is that there was always something else in those series that compensated for that. It was either a rival who was well written, Ash's Pokemon having lots of screen time and lots of development, great personalities and dynamics with each other, or even just the anticipation of Ash finishing his journey no matter the outcome of the league. There was just always something else that compensated. With Journey's plot lines being all over the place, it's like even B and her Pokemon get lost in the shuffle, which is why I'm just saying personally for me, the battle like was good, like it was a battle. It's just not going to stick with me. Like when I think about the series years later, I may remember the one part where Lucario Mega Evolved, but that's it. It's a shame because it was decent to watch, you know, and it's a shame that B kind of has to be that checkpoint, you know, because Leon is obviously the most important part here. But yeah, that's all I have.
What's the number?
Yeah, what would you give it as a score overall?
I'll give it a 6 too.
A
Okay.
A
six.
6 as well, not a 6.2.
Okay, I was gonna ask, is a 6 as a whole for the two-parter or just for this episode? Like, what would you give it as a fight as a whole?
I think didn't I give the other episode a 7, or was that I'm getting
I'm
I'm
glad you
blurring.
remember.
I don't know. I like the previous one better.
You
Yeah,
like
I
the
like
previous
Classic
fight
better.
episode?
Because that's the thing. It's like it build up, and then it just kind of like, oh, okay. Like so, last week is 7. This week is 6.
All right, so it'd be like a 6.5 overall for the fight.
6.5.
Yeah, all right. Perfect then. So anything else to add, Polly, or should we pass this on to the next?
We'll pass the baton on to T the Gothery.
All right then, Tyrone. I'll pass it on to you, buddy. Let's hear your take on this episode as a whole and what you think of it.
God,
of course, score.
I've had to talk about this episode more times than the parters that it is. Fuck. Between the reaction and the Master 8 podcast and this, I've talked about this episode 3 fucking times already. God damn it.
Does it change?
Why I read both.
God fucking damn it. Well, Polly actually pointed out something that I didn't even talk about, and I applaud her for it. What is B's backstory? She's just this mean girl.
Excuse you.
Who gives a shit?
She's a prodigy.
Oh, she's a prodigy that likes chocolate. Ooh, I'm sorry. Like the 10 out of 10, I guess. I don't fucking know, but no, seriously. So here we go. Okay. Obviously, I feel like the video that I made recently, Anime Logic versus Video Game Logic, that was perfectly timed. I just wanted to make a video on Anime Logic versus Video Game Logic and Pokemon based off the events of the Volkner fight, but it seems to fit snug perfectly here. So it's fine. It works still. I'm gonna talk about certain aspects because I've talked about this episode basically to death. So obviously the battle itself to me is a mess. To me, it's a virtual mess. Battles tell stories, and this one told basically the worst story because it didn't know whether or not it wanted to focus on Lucario's rivalry with Graplock and B, or this newcomer Machamp and its ability to Gigantamax, which is the official Gen 8 power-up. So Lucario's gotta fight it, right? He's gotta take on the big new gimmick mon. So it feels very disingenuous. I don't know Machamp enough to care about whether or not it can do this. I didn't even see it as like a Machop at first or a Machoke. So there's no reason for me to even remotely care about Machamp. And apparently the show doesn't give a shit about him either because his strongest ultimate attack, the big attack, the signature move that this thing has, the reason why this thing even has a Gigantamax in the first place, it's just blocked. Yeah, no tactical moves, no way to get around it. Lucario just blocks it. Remember, Ash said in the Graplock fight, we can't afford to let this last any longer. We have to knock this out in one hit. Which, who the fuck decided Ash was the one in charge of that? Who the fuck was like, yeah, definitely, Graplock's only been hit by Quick Attack? Go ahead, Ash, tell Graplock how much fucking health it's got. Like the fuck, who gave Ash permission to be like, yeah, we can take this out in one hit? Like, that's not up to you, motherfucker. That's up to Graplock and B. Like, I'm sure that Graplock is way more resilient in the fight to last a lot longer than just that one pathetic ass hit. It's the rival fight between Graplock and Lucario. Now, one of the worst things you can do when you're world building fiction, when you're world building a fiction, you can use suspension of disbelief. You can use it in very pinch moments as a one-off. Most people refer to them sometimes as plot armor, main character privilege, Deus Ex Machina. We've made the jokes. They've all been said. All of them have been said. Hell, the fact that Ash was able to use Z moves twice in his fight with Kukui was shown because the Tapus were able to pull some Deus Ex bullshit so that Ash can do it. Ash even having the Z move 1 million Thunderbolt is an anime Deus Ex Machina bullshit ass pull within itself, but we accept it because at least it was earned earlier in the show, so we know it exists. Trying to convince me that this Lucario can fucking just decide when it's knocked out and be able to one-shot whenever it feels like it needs to detaches your audience from the story. And you cannot convince me of this otherwise. Trying to convince your audience that the antagonist of this particular climax of an arc can easily be wiped out with a simple one hit is never going to flow with your audience. Ever. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you come from. I don't care if you make as many excuses as you want. This is unacceptable. And then to top it off, Lucario literally blocks the strongest attack that B has. And no one explains it. There's nothing behind it. There's no outing to this either. At least in other situations when Ash is faced with a big, like, huge attack, at least there's some explanation how he's able to get around it or some obstacle that he's able to overcome. That's the whole point of Pokemon battles. It's a test to see if Ash can deal with the situation and get around it. You could have, and I said this in my reaction video, you could have even had Lucario get hit by the Gigantamax move, and when everyone thinks, oh, Lucario got hit, it fades away. Why is it fading away? Oh, it hit a double team, not the real one. And the real one's like in the air and then uses like a giant aura spear because he gathered up enough power or some shit while he was in the air. And then hit Machamp in the face in a cool little Attack on Titan situation. And it comes down and then Gigantamaxes or something, goes back to normal. That's a lot better than making me believe that it can just block the move. Strongest attack in this battle, and Lucario blocks it. Yeah, bullshit. Lucario's already been getting the snot kicked out of it from part 1 of the fight. And I know what you're thinking. Why are you analyzing every last attack in the game? Because I have an attack in the show. Because I've heard a lot of people say that, oh, you're looking into every last single hit in the show. At that point, it looks like you're nitpicking. Not exactly. Only because when you're doing a fight, when you're choreographing a fight in a story, you're telling a second part of a story. You're telling a part of the story that has no language. There is no Japanese. There is no English. There's only motion. I mean, that and the trainer's yelling what the fuck to do. But when you watch a battle and you see the struggle, you can these type of things will determine the impact in which the story is taking place. I remember, and this is going into our free time a little bit, I remember when KG, Terrell, and I watched the Batman versus Robin fight, or whatever Robin decided to call himself at that point. And Terrell points out his favorite part in the fight is that once Batman gets the upper hand, Robin never lands a hit on him. The reason he likes this is because he already knows that a story is being told. The fight is being turned around. It's very clear the advantage point belongs to a character. Hits matter. Attacks matter. They allow us to be conjoined into the story and realize exactly what is taking place in the confines of the fight. These are the things that allow us to sit and watch the struggle. It's the reason why Pokemon trainers even battle in the first place. If not, they'd all be like the Best Wishes Skyla fight where Skyla just assumes who's gonna win and the match would be over. But nobody would watch that because it'd be fucking boring. And nobody would want to put up with it. Fights would be over in a second because there'd be no point in actually showing them. And fights can't be like they are in the video game because those are calculated numbers based on statistics. But here, we're dealing with actual struggle. It's very believable that, yes, a Pokemon can toughen out a certain amount of hits, but it's not believable that it can toughen out a certain amount of hits to the point where it basically should be knocked out. And then when it comes down to the biggest hit in the entire story, the big climax attack, it can just simply block it. Fuck you, Journeys. There's no way I'm going to sit here and accept that. I'm not even going to talk about Surf Edge because you guys have already pretty much summed that up. And look, if Journeys doesn't give a damn, I don't give a damn. So I'm not even going to give it that. Pikachu using that vibrating thing, I talked about that before. It was kind of weird. And I said it was weird only because normally when Ash pulls off weird tactics, at least we get to either A, see some on-screen training of him doing that, or B, he talked about it in passing, and it came into fruition. The off-screen example I can think of is Electric Shock Showdown, where Brock says, well, I think there's a way we can probably beat the Raichu, which means they're obviously cooking something up, so whatever Ash does on-screen that's crazy and new to the audience can at least imply that Brock and Ash worked on the strategy together. An on-screen example I can think of is X and Y when Froakie jumps on the little pieces of trash or whatever during the whirlpool and is able to make the rock climb tomb, which we see later in Grant's fight, which Pikachu then turns into into Draco Meteor Tomb. You can see an on-screen example of this happening, and you can see the actions being set in stone. That means when the fight actually happens, These tactics are believable because you can actually see them on screen. The payoff is what we get. And that is something that you always have to make sure you put in your fiction. When you're writing a shonen, any shonen, the worst thing you can do is say that this character wins simply because fuck it. It deletes the whole conflict. It separates the audience from its level of disbelief, and it completely deletes struggle. The reason that shonens or any fight in general is made is because you want to see the struggle of something. If Captain Ahab just fucking threw a spear at Moby Dick and it just died, and the book was only 2 pages long, nobody would fucking read it. So, in the exact same vein, conflict needs to be set. It's how a narrative is set in stone. It's how you're able to take into account, oh, this is great because I got to see the struggle from start to finish. And with that being said, this wasn't a good fight at all. This was a terrible fight. This is pretty much the exact same problem as Volkner, increased to about ×4. And with that being said, I gave the last episode like a 4, and this is the climax of the fight. So its expectations to me are higher, which means this gets a 3. So overall, a 3.5.
Okay, then. Anything else you'd like to add, Tyrone?
I mean, other than that, I'm guessing since B is defeated, Ash is gonna face like the 4 of the Master 8, which 4 will still be revealed later, and that's what we gotta look to. This tournament has been a mess through and through, and I feel like this was their quick way of trying to get Lucario up to a level that can take on a Gigantamax. But again, this is disingenuous just to Machamp himself, because one, this is our first real-time seeing Machamp, was in these 2 episodes, and Machamp's got the gimmick, which is the Gigantamax. So at this point, the show's not even focused on its own mechanics, because the Gigantamax Pokemon that Ash fought in a legit battle in the World Tournament got its ass whooped by a Pokemon who's using a gimmick that isn't even used anymore. So now we got this situation where, because Ash can't afford to lose, he's just going through stuff regardless of whether or not it's relevant or regardless of whether or not it's pivotal to me believing the conflict. But I don't want to go back around on the same thing, so I'm just going to basically end it here and hand it to Kuro.
I forgot to just add quickly one thing. It's also frustrating because we intentionally got those Wickstrom episodes to develop. I keep wanting to say
Surfetch, yeah.
Surfetch. So having Lucario come in as like the big star is kind of, it's just not fair to me, because it's like we got all that time for Surfetch, but for what? For nothing.
I think it would have been better off because like I mentioned before, Surfetch initially kind of had a rivalry with Hawlucha. Not really, but it had fought against Hawlucha at the beginning of their debut.
Yeah.
And lost to it. So this would have been a perfect opportunity.
I'm going to point it out on my part of
the
review.
Don't worry about that. Let me just finish this up and I'll pass it on to you, buddy. And I was going to say, like, it just aggravates me because it's like, apparently, like I stated before, Lucario seems to have 2 rivals in this episode, implying that somebody's going to have to take an L. Unfortunately, that meant that the first one had to go to Surfetch. And since you're not Pikachu and you're not Lucario or Dragonite, your ass out here gonna get destroyed, and it sadly did. And also, to add to that thing that Tyrone stated about the believability, it just pisses me off even more when you take note into how Lucario took all these beatdowns, and then Surfetch just took one.
Yeah.
And then it just went poof,
Yeah.
So, yeah, alright, I apologize on that. Kuro, now this is going to be your turn, buddy. I'd like to hear what you take on this episode, as well as your rating on it. So, take it away, buddy.
Alright, so let me just drink my water first.
Remember, chat, as well, stay hydrated.
Okay, so never in my life did I believe that a part of a trilogy, quote unquote, could downrank the previous 2. Because I gave an 8 out of 10 to the other 2 episodes. More for details and references because of the Mega Island, And for a solid foundation and premise that the first part of this, with all the Pokemon, eating together and Karina with B and whatever more. This episode, it down ranks the other two somehow, personally, to the same rank that I actually gave this one, a 6. 6 out of 10 for all of these 3 episodes. They are decent at best. But let me start with the positives first. So, animation music, like all of you said, it was brilliant. When Sirfetch'd used the brutal swing to hit the shield, oh my god, that was amazing. Okay, you cannot deny that, that looked cool. Pikachu using the quick attack on the ground to make that lightning veil, that looked cool. It kind of makes me wonder when he's going to get extreme speed. But the battle looked cool. However, the rule of cool doesn't save a narrative. Good animation doesn't save poor writing. It's not bad, but it's extremely poor. Because look, it's not even the issue of Lucario being up, to his rivals in such a short amount of time, because Ash's Pokemon did this prior, and even non-Ash's Pokemon did this prior as well. The issue here is, why is Lucario the only one to get privilege out of off-screen growth? Why can't Sirfetch'd get that? Or even Gengar? Why specifically Lucario? That is when you ruin the believability. Because Sinnoh remakes, and he's the ace, he hatched from an egg, he has a strong bond. The more you reinforce that message, the less I believe it. And this episode, people like to bitch and shit on Cameron because, Lucario regained the HP bar when he evolved against Snivy. Apparently Ashes has 4 HP bars. The base, the recall, the Mega Evolution, and Sirfetch'd. He got hit 13 times. And he doesn't lose. Why? Because it's the cool Pokemon. The same reason why he didn't lost against Voltner. He tied. He's too cool to lose. That's bullshit. Now, in terms of Pikachu, we come to this situation that everything after Tapu Koko, it needs to be as grandiose, but they cannot realistically make it, right? And because Olucha and Graplocked have the Limber ability, Pikachu cannot paralyze it. Then again, we don't see static for 9 years. And Force Palm cannot even have the effect of paralysis either. However, this episode, they make Sirfetch'd lose to Olucha a second time, with no closure or redemption or riddance whatsoever. The same applies for Pikachu as well. He lost to Graplocked another second time. And nothing will come of it. This episode was, the whole team will get jobbed for the sake of Lucario. Heck, even Go points out, thought he was going with Dragonite. Well, if he went with Dragonite, 3 Hurricanes would have defeated B. No more, no less. And people online, oh my gosh, people online. Oh, but the birds were rivals. No, they weren't. You made the rivalry in your heads. Just because they battled once, it doesn't mean they are rivals. Ash's Charizard and Gary's Blastoise are a good example of it. They aren't rivals. Their trainers are. So let me see what I have in my notes more. Okay, so in terms of Olucha and Sirfetch'd, realistically speaking, I wanted for them to tie, because that way the Sirfetch'd mindset would be something very, very simple. Alright, I am now on par with the dude who priorly defeated me. That is good, but that's not enough. I need to train more. Because that way, it can cue a training montage or an episode for Meteor Assault. Makes sense. The same thing with Lucario and Graplocked. The rivalry is so forced that the tie 1 year ago, it kinda, makes all of that. Lucario doesn't need to win against Graplocked to prove himself to Graplocked. Because defeating G-Max Machamp, the true ace, already gives Lucario a proxy win on Graplocked. Pikachu should have defeated Graplocked to revenge, quote unquote, and then deal enough damage to Machamp for Lucario's win to be, more believable. Heck, you were mentioning this, Tyrone, about oh, he blocked the G Max move because it was a clone, right? It was a shadow clone from Double Team. I believed in that when I was watching the episode. And then when I watched the episode, Sirfetch'd doesn't even use detect. It completely undermines the whole Wickstrom training to begin with. Again, the Mega Evolution sequence was cool. Lucario showing all of that aura energy because Mega Lucario has adaptability. That looked cool. Using Force Palm on Bullet Punch and absorbing the Steel energy to make it Steel Beam, that was nice. I like that. It's a great nod to how you actually can learn the move in the Sword and Shield games after you become a champion. And Ash is already won, so kudos to the detail. But the details don't make, the entirety of the arc or the rivalry. Because, yeah, Lucario now has had its moment to shine at the cost of many, of course. What now? What next? For both Mega Lucario and even B, right? I'm left with more questions than answers with this arc. The same can go with the Winter Special trailer, but that's another topic. But yeah, like Ash, he talked no jutsu Lucario will finish this in one blow, and so they did. Like, excuse me? And when he does the quick attack thing, oh, I like to invent this shit on the fly, and I'm like, no, you don't. You never invent shit on. Now that is out of character. Like,
I
you
also
never
thought that
invent.
too.
You don't invent this shit on the fly. You learned Iron Tail.
Thunder Armor.
Thunder Armor wasn't invented on the fly.
Yeah, like Ash knew Swellow's, natural resistance to electric attack.
Yeah, let's talk about Thunder Armor. Before Thunder Armor happens, Ash looks at the sky. You notices the storm clouds and goes, "Ah!" That at that point already gives us
I'm
a
talking
realm
about
of
I'm talking about the randomness, by the way, not.
I know, but no. There's even no randomness in that. Weirdly enough, Thunder Armor, the most obscured shit in Pokemon, at least has build up. Because Ash looks at the sky and goes, "Ah!" That one moment right there gives us an idea that the move can be done, or at least if it is done, for as ridiculous as it is, at least there's a reference point.
There's
We don't get any
believability.
of that.
There is believability. And now with journeys, like it feels like we reach, it feels like Lucario, it's too early, it's too rushed, it peaked midway to the series, and again, we don't know the future of the series, so it's kind of redundant and to even point that out, right? But this entire battle, like decent at best. That's why 6 out of 10. I don't think I have anything much else to say. Like it looked cool, and it's just that it looked cool.
But looking cool isn't the same as being
I didn't
cool.
even use that
So.
as I didn't even use that as a factor to judge this fight. And my favorite series is the one where all the fights look cool.
Yeah, like Machamp, like Gigantamaxing, but still having, the power up for critical hit ratio and, the focus energy to, boost attack. It's basically Pokken Machamp, but without the red glow.
Yeah, like I said, it looked really cool when I saw that. I was like, oh shit, that's Pokemon Champ right there.
But they didn't do anything with it.
No, well, that was in the moment when I was reacting.
Yeah, exactly. It's more like these entire battles as of lately. It's just, everyone like it's the same journey cycle. It's not even the Trouble Training Triumph. It's the 1 month of hype, weekend of controversy, and days for people to forget. Move on, carry on. And with Lucario, is this all that Lucario is going to have? Being cool just for the sake of it? Because Lucario as a Pokemon in the Pokemon anime, it's not even that special. Ash is like the 12th or 10th to 12th or something. As a Mega Lucario, he's the third. There's nothing special to it. Then again, there is nothing that needs to be special about an Ash Pokemon in terms of battle to to be great. It's just, his time in the sun, it feels like it's over. Then again, they didn't, bothered enough for me to care prior, so why should I now, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, then. Thank you,
Yeah.
Carl, for giving your. You said 6, correct?
6.
All right,
For
then.
all three. For
Oh,
all
okay, for
three.
all 3. So you're counting that one episode too. All right, then. So now, TSS, we gladly leave it with you at the end, buddy.
Thank you.
Take it away. So let's hear your take as well as your ranking of the episode as a whole.
Go for it.
Okay, so here we go. 2-part review coming here. So let's start with part 1. Let me just clear the air here. I totally agree with you guys for Sirfetch being completely outmatched. I thought that was completely. I thought that wasn't handled very well. But then I was reminded of a statement that Karina said in the last episode, saying that she is better than she was yesterday, and she's working harder towards training harder in the future as well. Also, I still stand by my statements saying that they wouldn't have shown all 6 Pokemon on each side if there wasn't going to be a 6v6 coming soon in the future. So I still hold out for that. So let's go to quickly finish up part 1 here. So first, let's go break things down. Good thing that they. By the way, I think the second animation director was there only because they reused the part of the animation from the previous episode. Iwane did this himself the rest of the way. So let's get that cleared out. First of all, they usually do that. That's why sometimes you see like 9 animation directors in the same episode, or maybe 4 of them, because they use clips that are previously used for those episodes to reuse the clips. Credit. Just giving credit, correct. So let's begin. First of all, let's get to I believe it was the let's see it was what was it? No, it wasn't Machamp first. It was see, my brain is so focused on part 2 that it forgot part 1. So let's just get the shit out of the way, right? So the Sirfetch shit, yeah, really cool. The vaulting, as everybody said, it was really cool to look at. The shield toss was pretty fucking cool too. Again, the moves looking a lot better, like fucking Godbird Sky Attack looked a lot better than it was in the last episode, which I correctly predicted. I didn't like how fast that went down. So Pikachu one-shotting Hawlucha, fine. That's their fucking logic, whatever. That was a whatever exchange. The Graplock one, that was with as Kuro mentioned, the whole quick attack charge thing, that looked really good on paper. And actually get Pikachu getting a loss, that's one of the first time in a while, so it's a good change of pace. And then of course Lucario coming, Lucario is kind of like the beast and overdone and kind of like godlike. I will mention one thing that it hasn't mentioned before. The Dynamax, or the Kyodai Evolute, the animation was a lot smoother than it was at the very beginning of the series. They did a lot of great. They obviously learned from their mistakes, and also, as you saw, when the Dynamax Pokemon move, it wasn't as slow and janky as it was even, let's say, 50 episodes ago during the Galar arc. So I give credit where credit is due. Iwane found a way to make it look better in terms of more fluidity. The fight was really intense, but we're going to get into part 2 of this review. And I did like the ending because it was really passionate. But this is where thing, and then of course we get at the end, we get B acknowledging Satoshi, saying that let's fight again, and they completely have a mutual respect for one another. I do like the fact that there's a CG microphone in the booth. I did like that. You think I didn't catch that? Oh, I noticed everything, man. So that was a pretty cool touch. I don't know who made that CG microphone, but that CG microphone in the booth next to Leon, that was something else. Also, Leon telling the announcer to be quiet, that was pretty fucking good too. So it comes to part 2, and it actually starts of a few things that I've noticed in the last year plus of this series. We've always mentioned in this series that there's a lot of remixes within Hayashi's music, and I didn't start thinking about that until episode 42, when Leon faced off with a Gigantamax Centiscorch, where you had the remix, and I said at the time, any of the longtime listeners, I told them that I think Masafumi Mima might have access to Hayashi's multitracks, because you wouldn't be able to do that if all you had was just the basic music. So I thought about this, and then about maybe 20 or 30 episodes later, I noticed a piece of Miyazaki music, and I was thinking, that kind of sounds a little bit like flat mixed. It doesn't sound full. So then it got the wheels turning for me. I was like, has the audio mix changed between series? And we're going to get that into part 2. So what I decided to do tonight was to go into full audio analysis mode for 3 episodes. Now, detailing my gear before we begin, and also a disclaimer before we begin, I am not an audio professional. I am using a Scarlett Solo USB sound card device, a USB sound device, with Sony MDR V6 flat response studio monitors. I have used MPC BE at the same volume, and the episodes that I looked at tonight was DP-188, which is the second part of the Satoshi and Shinji fight, SM-143, which was the second part of the Kukui fight, and last week's SM-86. So, I keep saying that, PM 2019-86. So those 3 episodes. And I put my thinking cap on for the very first time ever, and here is a audio analysis between all 3 of those episodes. Also, the other reason why I did it is because all 3 are storyboarded by Yuji Asada. All 3 of them are Masaki Iwane direction. And also, as always, Masafumi Mima has had the sound direction. So this is apples comparison between those 3 episodes in terms of an audio spectrum. Okay. Also, these 3 episodes aired in the HD digital era, so that means that no compression or additional audio the audio is pure, and there's no compression on the audio or normalization. Okay, so let's start with my basic audio analysis of DP-188. DP-188. Dialogue and sound effects, for the most part, are concentrated in the center channel, but some have a slight panning effect. But I found that the music steps on the dialogue, and likewise it steps on the sound effects at times, lessening the impact of some of those sound effects. Now, I'm aware in that episode that Takashi is talking over Satoshi and Shinji while they fight, but I'm not taking that into account. The Miyazaki music used in there is a nice stereo balance for that time frame, and the overall mix is enjoyable to my ears. Okay, next, SM-143. So this is from 2019. So, compared to DP-188, the sound effects and the dialogue mixing has drastically improved, with certain move sound effects being panned in separate channels. But certain Miyazaki tracks have a subdued mix compared to more current ones, which actually is also true for this current series, the 2019 series. But one of the things that stood out like a sore thumb is that on the climax where Galgain and Nyahit's dynamic full-frame Z moves and the final revenge strike when Nyahit are focused, they're focused on the center channel. So the impacts don't have that booming effect to the audio. So while the sound effects did improve dramatically in 9 years as a more immersive experience, there was just something there. And then we come to this episode. So, for this episode, Hayashi's music, however, is higher fidelity and also has a wider stereo field in compared to Miyazaki's music. And this in turn allows the dialogue to cut through easier. That's why the dialogue is easily heard within the background music rather than the older series. Now, in addition to this, the sound effects are now punchier and more impactful. And some of them are actually heard on both left and right channels as opposed to just a center channel. So you might have a hit where it hits on both sides of both left and right instead of just the center. Now, in addition, the sound effects that are on the center channel are actually amplified to give it more effect. For example, the air swooshing from when Sirfetch'd goes down is an example of a hard sweep from the right center to the left center channel. And the sound effect of when Lucario's arm drops as Graplock is falling is a quick left-right channel booming sound. And at the end, where Satoshi calls out Force Palm and the Ike, the dialogue fades out from underneath the music and the sound effects, which gives that spot more emotion. So, with that being said, my initial hypothesis was right. They did change the audio mix for this series, and that's what was bothering me. I had it in the back of my mind. Why did I get so involved, and why did I like this so much? The answer is the audio mix has dramatically improved even from Sun and Moon. So the audio mix for this gets a 10 out of 10. However, though, I will say this. It's the best audio mixing in the meta series so far, because even going back 11 years, there's a huge difference between everything. So, and with all of that being said, I absolutely enjoyed the episode because of the audio immersion and also the visuals. And for that, I'm going to give the whole thing, this episode, a 9.5. So that means the average score will be 9.4 something. And that is my review. Thank you.
All right. So there you go, ladies and gents. You got our respective review scores overall. Some 6, some 5, some down to a 4, some up to a 9. At the end of the day, let that be clear, ladies and gents. It's all our respective opinions. We just like the show or dislike the show for what it might be. But that's what makes it fun when we all have everything to... when we have everybody here to talk and give our respective opinions on the show. So, hope you guys enjoyed our review on that aspect right there. So, you might be asking yourself, so we probably should focus on that trailer, right? And in my opinion, yeah, of course that one. Not the acid dream of a trailer that supposedly Dawn return thing. No, not that one. The Ice Queen one, though, I'm very excited for it. It definitely looks like it's going to be an emotional episode, though. For what reason? We don't know, but we will find out this Friday night, though. So look forward to that when it drops.
Yes.
But in regards to the acid dream of a DP special, I got 9. I'm gonna be real with you.
I got none either.
I got 9.
Also, we do get a few things. Number one, I initially thought it was going to be a 1 hour special. It's not. It's going to be over 2 weeks, which is going to be the 3rd and the 10th. Also, if you pay attention to the dialogue in there, the clone characters are not talking. So we don't know if there's going to be a dialogue, like a dialect change, or something else. So we don't know what that specifically is.
I'm just saying, Dub, you have an opportunity again. If there is a dialect change, get Veronica or something for Ash. You're just hoping. I know it's already a stretch at this point, but they did bring Gary's voice back. I mean, let's be real on that part. Anything's possible.
It'll be like when
he never
Dragon
left.
Ball,
I mean,
it'll be like in Dragon Ball Super.
But I mean, he's been gone for so long, I should say.
It'll be like in Dragon Ball Super when they had the slime Vegeta be voiced by Drummond.
Yeah. In regards to the whole multiverse, like I said in your reaction, KG, I think that Journeys is really reaching for fanfic territory in terms of canonizing it. Because, Dawn's back. Why? Like, I want for someone to abridge, Dawn and Cynthia talking to each other. Hey, Cynthia, aren't you going to help us out? Did you help us out in Operation Tempest? Yeah, thought so. It should have been Barry and Tokyo. If you know, you know. Because of time and the remakes.
You know what just pisses me off the most?
Go for it.
Why is Dawn here? Like
Yeah,
legitimately.
yeah.
Because she's the main character in the fucking game.
But no, it pisses me off because it's like Iris got it handled properly.
It's not just Dawn, it's Dusk too.
No, here's what I gotta say. I believe Iris was handled correctly. The Sun and Moon Gang was handled correctly. You can even say to an extent, Karina, I think, was handled decently. Not the best, but just decent enough. Compared to everybody, I think she's the weakest out of the returns. But the point
Yahweh
of
was handled correctly?
I said
Okay.
decently. I didn't say correctly, just decently.
Okay, yeah.
But the point of the matter is, their returns at least tied to what they are as characters. You can at least agree to that part. For the Sun and Moon
Yeah,
cast, it was about the wholesomeness. For the Karina return, it was about her as a battler, and her, of course, being a challenger for Ash to overcome. For Iris, of course, it was a natural progression to her character, and honestly, one of the best character returns we've gotten in terms of a progression plot, because she came from a trainer to a champion, which was really cool. Now, you would think that could also apply to Dawn, right? Yeah, no, not at all. In fact, Dawn's just sort of here just to be a pretty face.
if anything, if anything, Chuck last year he had a better return because his Poliwrath now has Poison Jab.
And also,
No,
we got to see references to the past too.
no, it's not even that because in all of the games, Chuck's Poliwrath doesn't even have Poison Jab. No version of Chuck's Poliwrath has Poison Jab. Why does the anime has? Simple, because of Ash's Bayleaf. So Chuck has a better return than Dawn just by that.
Yeah, that's how much of an influence Ash gave to that
And
boy.
I hope that Drake has the same.
Oh yeah,
Or something.
AG
Yeah.
fans, I hope you're gonna get fed well in these coming weeks because he's coming back. Specifically for our first AG real appearance, Drake, the Elite Four member, is coming.
I don't care.
And the JPEG of May and Max because they love
I don't
JPEGs.
care about any of these characters coming back, like at all. Like,
And
have we
that
not
sadly
learned?
applies to
Like-
Dawn.
One
Have
of
we
the
not
other Elite Four
learned?
that- Oh, go ahead.
Have we not learned from all the other times?
We're doing it
I mean,
to
we,
add
I mean,
more
we, I mean,
suspense,
we,
Tyrone.
we did. The others did.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
Too
yeah,
bad
so
we-
like, go on.
As for the multiverse, I just want to say that the idea is interesting, right? The problem is it's 2 episodes and they have to introduce 4 versions of characters that we already know, and
6, 7 actually. Team
so
Rocket.
it's oh yeah, all right, because they have the suits of armor to prevent them from regressing in time. Pocket Pichu is cute. The premise of the plot is interesting. The delivery it's going to be the way it's going to be. Because when it comes to all of this, doppelgangers from other dimensions or whatever more, like they bite more than they can chew in the end of the day because they don't want to be too similar to the point of why should we even care, but they don't want to be too different to the point of risking themselves to make completely different versions of those characters. For example, that Infernape most likely will be AU Ashes, so don't get your hopes up for that. Then again, I think that Journey should already taught you that never get your hopes up.
It's confusing, man. Let's just
yeah,
keep it at
yeah,
that.
because
It's confusing as hell.
like okay, so we're going to see Ash wearing blue. Yay! Like they don't even they are very afraid of being risky and creative. Like because how does the plot start? Dawn's Piplup gets kidnapped. What does that mean? That means that the other Dawn also picked Piplup. So Dawn at this point is not a character. She's just a plot instigator. This shit happens because she got involved. Because of a fucking gate. Couldn't that other Dawn have a third twig? Just you watch. That other Dawn is going to have a Lopunny and Typhlosion. Everyone is asking, oh, give her these Pokemon, and she will have, but not ours.
You really expect them to add more monster? No, they're not gonna do all that.
Yeah, that implies effort, you're right.
The first time Dawn came back, she only used Piplup. Best Wishes did her more justice than that.
Oh, Not our Dawn. I'm talking about the other.
Guys, stop expecting things. That's the biggest problem that you guys have with Journeys is that y'all expect shit.
Well, then what's the
Yeah.
point? Then what's the point if we can't dream? It's like, well, the series is not over yet.
Oh, the problem is that we've reached this series as a whole is like almost 25 years old. The problem is that the expectations that the fans have far exceed the writing capability of what this show is capable of. We've reached a point at this moment in which the fandom has created more lore and origin than the content itself.
Welcome to 2011. But that's just me.
Well, in the like, for example, how many times have you seen people, it's not even wishing or hoping, it's demanding character returns because of the Journey's formula, and I'm here like, I want a debut for a Galar character. I don't care which, I don't care who. Like, I would prefer to see either Nessa or Clara or Gordy or Kabu. Just for one episode or two, I don't care. Anything is better than Dawn returning. Which is why I'm kind of happy that, for AG representation, we get Drake and not, Haruka. Not against Haruka, but I don't trust the writers to have Haruka now. Or even again, for that matter.
Well, go poke freaking Cowardy's blog, Spunky Strider. See if she's coming back.
Yeah.
Well, one day we'll believe. All right, so
Yeah,
I don't think there's much more to say on this situation. No. It's just like
next week is going to be the Glaceon thing. That's
and then that's going to be after that is some other shenanigans for Journey. So
there's going to be a break supposedly. I don't know when. Well,
they've taken a lot of breaks recently, I've noticed.
Well, that's because of freaking deadlines and also work.
Boys still going at it.
Well, yeah, because remember, a lot of this stuff is done in Asia too, and Singapore, for example, has been in lockdown a lot. So I guess probably that's where, because remember, it's OLM Asia, so it's a lot of the Asian countries. It's not just Japan, because you got to look at all of those things. So
yeah, it's oh no, this is no good. I was about to say, Central Leaks again. Has came out with more information during the middle of the pod. I won't talk about it now. We already had our discussion before, and TS is here with us. If you want to learn about it yourself, I'll probably talk about it after the stream is done or stuff, but it's something, all right? So we'll get to that soon. But in the meantime, though, I think that's a perfect opportunity for us to go and almost wrap up. I think we still got a little bit of time left. Polly, I didn't get a chance to hear your take on this, though. With regards to your take on the Palkia, Dialga, whatever thing is called Winter Special. Did you have anything that you would like to add to this discussion real quick, Polly?
Me? Oh, no, actually, I think when Tyrone said, I got nothing. Like, I had this whole rant prepared, but,
Polly, go ahead and say your thing. Don't let me derail you.
No, it's just that it kind of went out of my head.
I'm sorry.
It derailed.
Sorry.
Speak your mind, Paul.
I like that.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just like
the Z's are.
I've seen it before. I've seen this way too many times on Twitter. If your best part of your series is that you're relying on other characters from other series to show back up, that means you're a bad series.
It's just weird to me because the Wallace Cup is my favorite arc in the entire anime. It's one that I go back to watch. But the thing is because they did May well. Not only that, I said they seamlessly bonded together the past and the present. So they got development for Dawn while still doing May a justice. Despite her losing, like they still made it relevant to their character.
And we still got lore for the Lake Trio, and Ash was training Weasel that helped him. Exactly. So it wasn't just for May and Dawn.
Yeah.
Like,
and
I will personally say this. I don't like May losing. However, the circumstances of that battle makes it believable because it's a water battlefield and she's using Glaceon, the evolved form of her last Pokemon. If this was any other kind of situation, battle contest-wise, even if May used Blaziken, even at the type disadvantage, I'm sorry, there's no way that Piplup could have defeated Blaziken.
Yeah, so my problem is just kind of shoehorning and like that's what I said before. It doesn't stick.
Like,
Yeah.
what does space and time have to do with Dawn being a coordinator?
Yeah.
Like
It's
it
happened
sucks
to be
because it's like all we
This,
just
this is
want.
why this is why I'm saying Barry, because of the remakes that helps you out in the Spear Pillar, or even Tokyo, who studies Celebi.
All I'm just saying, man. In my opinion, all I just wanted, and I think we said this before when Dawn's episode concluded back in summer, and y'all mentioned it to me beforehand. Y'all said, "Don't worry, we're gonna get that coordinator storyline
Oh
in the
shit, we
winter
did.
special."
Oh,
And I'm over here like I didn't realize coordinators had to mess with the space and time of the actual world itself by jumping through different dimensions. Because holy shit, that is actually pretty cool that that's a thing. No, that's not real. But the point of the matter is, none of what we're seeing now has anything to do with Dawn's actual character and her
yeah,
motif.
she's just the damsel in distress.
That's what she is, but why is she that?
Her penguin got kidnapped. That's her character in
My
this
my
span.
other thing is besides Dawn, it just I feel like it shouldn't happen in the first place because I don't trust Journeys to do it a justice. Like we're talking about two of the most iconic legendaries that control the most important.
Only get 2 episodes.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all shoehorned in, and it's like it's
Yeah,
not
because
exciting to me. I'm not
12 years ago they fucked up with one reality. How do you one up that? Simple. Now you fuck up with 2 realities.
like they've just done
Multiverse.
so
The
many,
scapegoat for bad writing.
yeah, like they've done so many outrageous concepts, but the execution is just not up to par. And that's why I'm just kind of like, okay. Like
Yeah,
there's
we'll
no
wait and see, I
I've
guess, when it
always
drops.
I've always stated that when you're making stories, and I've said this a lot, when you're making fiction or when you're making stories, there's very important rules that you don't want to wind up doing. One of those rules being is to limit your fictional world. That is in this case, for example, don't say your world only has one island and there's nothing outside of the world beyond that island. In this situation, don't say, oh, Dawn's here because it's involving the Sinnoh region, and the only people you associate with the Sinnoh region are Dawn and Cynthia. And they already broke that rule. Another rule is never to establish a character status quo and then make it so that the only route to go is up from there. They've been doing that with Ash for years. It's the linear process, and obviously a lot of shonen anime do this on accident, namely Dragon Ball, where everything has to be higher than what happened before. You can never go backwards. If Ash ends up becoming the champion in one series, he can't go back to losing to idiots and weak trainers the next. Otherwise, people aren't going to buy it. People aren't going to want to invest.
Ebo, that person probably will be yeeted in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, so the problem with when you do this is that you've limited your world. It makes your world very limited, and the only way you can go is up. And it turns your essentially infinite world into a narrow hallway. Smart animes and other series avoid this problem by moving horizontally. Pokemon Adventures does this by having the main character be a different main character every time, with occasionally the old main character coming back as a nice return.
And not all of them are gym challengers.
Journeys, unfortunately, is moving vertically while at the same time trying to touch on things that happened in the past. So it's unfortunately moving back. But when you move back, you've screwed yourself because now you're in the narrative that already exists, which means you get very little freedom to explore the world that you have because it's already limited to the expectations made by the audience from when they previously seen the last series. They didn't have to establish that Cynthia and Dawn are the only things that exist within the Sinnoh region. They didn't have to sit here and say, these are the 8 strongest trainers in the world championships, and everything outside of that is complete garbage. They didn't have to establish that, oh, this is how Ash will move forward, and anything outside of that is going to be nothing but disappointment. The community combined with the story writing created that. So when it comes down to what this is about, this isn't about like how bad Journeys is doing. This isn't even about anime logic or game logic when you see battles. It's about the Mets, baby. Let's go Mets. Here we go Mets. Let's get a home run Mets.
I'm gonna go to Japan and I'm gonna to FedEx you a Mets cola.
But yeah, that's my
that's
take
funny.
It
on
ain't
it.
about
That's my
the
take.
money, Tyrone. It's about the Mets, baby. Let the Mets.
The Mets, baby. Let's go Mets. Let's get a home run. But that's my take on it. That's my take. And I mean, obviously, I am just saying shit because I'm someone who's reviewed the anime for a long amount of time, counting XY and some of Sun and Moon, and then Journeys. I am going off of what I know based on narrative story writing. I'm not a super genius when it comes to that. I'm just going off basically what I know and what I think works and doesn't work in a story.
Mhm.
So if I can do it and I'm not a story writer, then excuse me if my expectations for actual story writers are much higher. That all.
Video games.
Yeah. So since I didn't really get to talk about it a little bit, I'm gonna just talk about it for about maybe 1 minute. All right. So the expectations that I had. Now, first of all, I knew that this was going to be coming because the teaser dropped on the after the second episode on the broadcast. I already knew that Hikari was going to be involved. Am I expecting much out of this? Yes and no. Like I'm gonna just treat this as something separate because at this point, that's what they want us to do. It's going to be a special. So a special in my mind means it, in the grand scheme of things, means absolutely shit to the main plot. Now, if somehow they fucking pull it out of their ass and then it's going to influence the series even further, good for them. But I'm just expecting them to just say, here we go, here's Hikari, 2 things, okay, let's go back in time. Haha, dialects, rockets with jetpacks, blah blah blah. Next. That's it.
You know what it is, TSS. Not you mentioned it, because we got this is not the first special that we got. We got the
Delar one.
Yeah, the midsummer one. So
Yeah, and the
and they are both 2 episodes long. So it's basically, if you combine that as a prelude and this as the finisher, it's like the same. It's basically the Darkest Day, but without being all one and the same, right?
Right.
So it's basically the Ranger specials, the Solana and Deoxys in AG, and
Yes.
the Kellen and Riolu in Diamond and Pearl. Now that I think about it, if we take these 2 specials as one, it feels like the anime is trying to compensate for not having a movie this year.
Well, in 2021. 2022, we have to see. Now, the other thing is, we have to wait. We will know if there's going to be a movie next year if they drop a teaser trailer in December.
Yeah.
Now, since everything was fucked up, and they had to release the video in July. They had to release the freaking movie in July in terms of the Blu-ray. That's why they couldn't get anything out for this year. We could only imagine that that in December maybe we're going to get the trailer for the next one. But of course, we already know now. The only thing is we don't know where they're going to be going. But if there's probably going to be most likely another AU stuff. If they do something different, I would be really surprised if they're going to pull something out for 25th anime. But that's about as likely to happen as the Mets winning the World Series again. But
Let's go Mets.
let's go Mets. No offense to Mets fans actually, since I'm a Yankees fan myself, so I'm gonna get egged whenever I go to Queens. But in all seriousness, they've actually done pretty good in the last the last decade or so. So I give them that credit. But anyway, but aside from fucking Mets talk and all that stuff, If they are going to announce a movie, they're going to announce it in December for next July, obviously. And if the movie looks good, then I'm more inclined to, get my plane ticket and fucking fly over again to watch it. So yeah. At this point, A movies are good. It's not exciting. Look forward to a new movie. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, exactly. I mean, for me, it's just going to be a breath of fresh air as opposed to where this stuff is going. So, it keeps my interest in this series alive. So that's basically what I'm living on. I'm living off of my old stuff, and actually going back and watching those old episodes tonight. It was like a real rush for me because literally I haven't watched them in fucking 10 plus years. Yajima will reimagine. What movie will Yajima reimagine? I don't know. It's a discussion for another day. Yeah. And it's definitely not good when
whatever movie they'll do, one thing is certain. The mythical in the movie, it's going to be a gift for Legends Arceus. That's the one certain thing. Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. At least they can make a tie-in or something like that. They're gonna have to always do that, but we'll see what happens. I mean, it's just a matter of time, and we'll take it from there. We take one step at a time. Who knows? Maybe they might reveal it after that would be funny if they reveal the fucking first trailer after the fucking special. That would be fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So okay. So with that being said, it's time to wrap it up. Wow, 50 people this late. Thank you.
Yeah, we went from 50s, 57, 60 around there. Thank you guys so much for being with us tonight. We hope you guys enjoyed tonight's stream. So if you did, please make sure to follow us if you have yet to do us here on this channel. And make sure to tune in tomorrow for Mario Party shenanigans on the channel, plus whatever that Pokemon thing we're doing. I'm not really sure. But the point of the matter is we're going to have some fun tomorrow, folks. So I hope to see you guys then and there. We already talked about what we're going to be doing this week, so make sure to check out the earlier part of the video so you can get a clear understanding where we're going to be taking things.
Well, not exactly. So
KG is gonna get another shiny and black and white too. Just to watch.
No.
Yep.
On my Twitch channel, Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, that is going to be Yakuza. Sorry, not Yakuza. Freaking Persona 3 Fest on Dub Part 24. That's at 9 p.m. Eastern, and then Saturday is going to be Yakuza Kiwami at 4 p.m. Eastern. That's Part 6, Part 5, Part 6.
Alrighty.
Something. It's some number. I don't fucking know.
This is why I don't number my shit.
I number it. Hey, I 70, 11 70. 11-70.
Happy 11th 12th anniversary, buddy. So, alright then, everybody. We'll speak with you guys later in whatever video we make. Take care, everybody, and as always, do us a solid and make sure to have yourselves an awesome day. And TSS, what's the magic word?
Wash your fucking hands, people.
Thank you, buddy. And also thank you, Donnie, for providing TSS a link there as well. All right, everybody. We'll speak with you all later. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good night.